Let's get ready to rumble! All right, held that for a minute. Royal Rumble, Royal Rumble, Indianapolis, Indiana. And man, gotta say, obviously the road to WrestleMania has finally begun. And it always starts with the Royal Rumble. February the 1st, wake up, it's the first of the month. So yeah. What other way to kick this whole shindig off with this? With a very early start time too, which honestly that's the problem I'll say right now when it comes like to these, 4 or 5 matches. They try to stretch this thing even longer than it should be with this short amount of matches. But given the Royal Rumble match itself, you already know it's gonna go over an hour. So I can kind of understand when it becomes to the Rumble sometimes, but it's like, does it really need to be stretched that long? But before we begin anything else off, let my co-hosts introduce themselves for today's review.
Yo, what up? Black Shaggy in the building. We here to talk about some Rumble stuff, and yeah, I'm ready to roll, man.
Yo, just Jay right here, man. You already know what it is. Wrestling's wrestling's most fucking nerdy, not nerdy ass nigga.
Okay, let's get through this because it's going to be a lot to go through, a lot to explain, a lot of numbers to talk about, a lot of moments within both of these Rumble matches themselves. So I'm going to try to hit everything I can right now. Obviously, if I forget anything, just please tell me as soon as I go over the match itself. There's going to be a lot of thoughts throughout this whole thing. Okay, so right off the bat, we kick it off with the women's Royal Rumble match. Like I said, Indianapolis, Indiana. Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, and Pat McAfee from Indianapolis himself. So he was hyped mostly the entire night. On commentary, Women's Royal Rumble. Let's get right off the bat. One thing I will say about both these Royal Rumble matches is that I guess just to keep track of everybody throughout the entire match, they had like a sort of a Sports Center ESPN thing going on at the bottom of the screen, telling you when who comes into the ring, telling you how much time that person has been in the ring, or when eliminations happen, or who has eliminated who, or if they even lasted the longest within the Royal Rumble match itself. So it's a lot of statistics in all of this. But like I said, 30 women Royal Rumble match. So let's get right off the bat. Number one, we start off with EO Sky. I got a pretty nice reaction coming out there. Number two, Liv Morgan was in this match as both of them went on. Number three, NXT. Going to see a lot of NXT people throughout this match. Roxanne Perez, which there will be a lot to say about her, especially the limp she got in this match. Number four, the women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. Not much of a big reaction, I'll say that. Number five, the next mid-card women's champion, the US champion, Chelsea Green, which I will say she was really over throughout a lot of this match. So we're gonna get into her too. Number six, B Fab. Literally no reaction. Seven, Ivy Nile, same thing. Hit some nice German suplexes out there. Number eight, Zoe Stark. No reaction. It's a lot of that in there. Number nine, straight from NXT, Lash Legend. Lash Legend looked like a giant out of mostly everybody in this match. I'll say that, and was throwing people all over the place. Um, and I think the first elimination we did get was on what? I think Green ended up eliminating B-Fab, so B-Fab was out first. Number 10, Bianca Belair, obviously one of the odds-on favorites, and it's really going to be a lot to say about her booking when we get to it. But obviously she had a big reaction coming out. 11, Shayna Baszler. I guess part of the, like I said, we'll get to that whole group, but once again, no reaction. 12, Bayley, last year's Royal Rumble winner within the match. Basically, even highlight, one thing to say about the graphics also, telling people's accomplishments that was in a lot of these Royal Rumble matches or just their history themselves. Number 13, Sonya Deville. So now you got the entire stud line in the match, which basically all three of them are going to try to work together to throw everybody out of the ring. 14, Maxine Dupree. Pretty good reaction. The minute she gets in the ring, basically Ivy Nile steps up to her. Because if you know the whole feud between the Alpha Academy and the American Made group, you kind of already know how that's gonna go. Basically, Dupree, I'll say this: she did get a good reaction. She did the reverse caterpillar thing, which was That was pretty dope. I will say that, and end up even eliminating Ivy now. But as soon as she eliminated her, the stud line ended up eliminating Maxine Dupree. Then after that, so they basically were all trying to work together, throw everyone out. Number 15, Naomi coming out there. Basically, they're working together. They are the women's tag team champions right now. So they even did like a damn double KOD, I think, on the start. Which basically the stud line was kind of gone after this because basically they all got eliminated. I feel like one of them was, I think Basil was off camera, but yeah, DeVille got thrown out, Stark got thrown out. 16 straight from NXT, Jada Parker. Internet fans are sure gonna get mad over a like of a tweet, but hey, good to see her in this match itself. One thing you can point out, hey, it is Black History Month, folks. So hey, we got, Bianca, Naomi, Jada Parker, Legend, basically all shaking up together. What's up, what's good and everything. Chelsea Green tried to get involved and immediately got jumped when it happened. So I actually thought that was hilarious. They ended up trying to throw her out, but 17 was Piper Niven. I thought it was weird that Green kind of went out to the outside of the ring, kind of standing. Like, why are you standing on the outside of the ring waiting for Piper Niven? You want to be in the ring because you're going to easily get knocked off from there. But Piper Niven, ended up getting the ring, basically going after everybody, working with Chelsea Green. I'm trying to see who else came in after that, but even going throughout this match, I'm trying to get our eliminations here and there. Basically, I think Green got eliminated next by accidentally by Piper Niven. She ended up charging into her, basically inadvertently knocking her out of the ring. Number 18, Natalya. Honestly, where has she been lately? Number 19, Direct. Well, I can't say TNA anymore, but now signed with the WWE, Jordan Grace, which still has her TNA theme song, surprisingly. So I was actually surprised by that, but obviously she came in like a house of fire, picking up Piper Niven, doing a big Death Valley driver, even hugging Naomi. If you know the history of them in TNA, Trinity, they both fought for the Knockouts title. I thought it was kind of funny, like they hugged and then Bianca basically just pulls Grace back by her head, looking at Naomi like, what is you doing? Like, we tag partners. This ain't your friend right here. I don't care where y'all work at. We the tag champs. We working together. We trying to win a Rumble here. What are you doing? Stay focused, basically. 20, Mia Yim. Um, yeah, number 20. Next, 21, who probably got the biggest reaction. And listen, I'm really not the biggest fan when it comes to Alexa Bliss here, but I'm not gonna lie, she got a huge pop. Probably, like I said, probably the biggest pop within this match. So big return for her. And you can hear commentary saying like the internet was wrong. The dirt sheets were wrong. And listen, I didn't really follow the story, what was going on with that. Apparently, I guess there were contract problems with Bliss and people thought she wasn't coming back. But hey, she ended up coming back and having like I guess she's still dark Alexa Bliss. So you can even see like the little tribute to Bray Wyatt on her jacket and whatnot. But yeah, she probably got the biggest pop within this match. She hasn't been seen since the Royal Rumble a couple years ago. 22, Cosplay Vega, literally no reaction. 23, Candice LeRae, literally no reaction. 24, straight from NXT, Stephanie Vaquer, pretty good pop. I'll say that. 25, Trish Stratus, huge pop for her. Trish still looks great. Can't never say anything bad about Trish. So it was, like I said, great to see her as always. 26, Raquel Rodriguez, once again, literally no reaction. I think Natalya got eliminated as soon as she hit the ring because Liv Morgan hit a cold breaker and she ended up getting thrown out. But then I think Bliss ended up getting eliminated too by Liv Morgan. So I think it may be a few going on there. 27, Charlotte Flair, the return, which she had this very grand entrance and probably the only woman with pyro and basically taking her time to get to the ring. We haven't seen her since December from a couple years ago. I think she had a torn ACL, if I'm not mistaken. It was a knee, but I just thought it was kind of funny. Like, she just had the grandest entrance and literally took her sweet time coming to the ring, just almost like over the top in a way. So I thought that was kind of funny for some reason. But, she ends up hitting the ring then. 28, NXT Women's Champion, Julia, which I'm being honest, I don't really think people really knew who Julia was out there. So, yeah, she is the NXT Women's Champion, but I guess you can probably tell that a lot of this crowd does not watch NXT all the way when it comes to some people because I didn't really know who was coming out today. You even saw her, and, they mentioned her in. But, it was one point in the match, too, that and I was noticeable between like almost like somewhat of a change of the guard to some extent, but you can see like, you know, Julia, Vicaire, and Perez kind of team up. Like basically the new NXT versus the black and gold NXT when it came between Charlotte, Bailey, and Bianca out there. 29, Fridge herself, Nia Jax, basically coming in and immediately took out Mia Yim, which almost was off camera, and then Vega was taken out then, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was the other way around. I know they had Trish Stratus going out there against Nia Jax, but Nia Jax ended up knocking Trish Stratus to the floor. Number 30, and my immediately reaction, I said, fuck, it was Nikki Bella. And, you know, I guess there's a lot of news going on with her nowadays and why she's back. Hey, give John Cena credit. He dodged a bullet right there. But Nikki Bella was number 30. And then, like I said, the ring is mostly filled up, and we've gone over 64 minutes in this match. So a lot of people were really still involved and not really eliminated. So we really need to start eliminating some people here. And obviously, there was one big elimination, which even everybody's trying to hang on. It was like between Bianca and Naomi and I think Vicaire, and it was like 5 people that got knocked down right here. But you can even see Vicaire trying to pull Bianca's hair down. Like they're all hanging on the edge of the ring, and then next thing you know, Nia Jax just comes in, just basically bulldozes everybody out the ring. So like, yeah, they all just get knocked out right there. And then Nia Jax ended up throwing out Liv Morgan then right after that. So then we kind of come to the final 6 then. Charlotte, Roxanne, Julia, Nikki Bella, Bailey, and Nia Jax. I think who was like Julie was eliminated. And then Jax ended up taking out Bailey and Nikki Bella. So then we kind of come to the final 3, which was between Charlotte, Nia, and Roxanne. And basically, you could easily tell who was going to win this right here because basically, as was it, you see Nia trying to eliminate Roxanne, and Charlotte just basically dumps them out. Roxanne still kind of survives in there and hangs on, but Charlotte ends up throwing her out too. So Charlotte basically won the Royal Rumble right here, her 2nd win. And I'm sure a lot of people are pissed off by this. I will say this, me personally, I'm not mad. This was my 2nd pick to win. My first one was Bianca, but I probably should have already known she wasn't going to win this anyways. But I'm sure everybody's going to say, in case of emergency, break the Charlotte glass and whatnot. But I'm not really mad. I know a lot of people are, but I'm like, hey, this is my 2nd pick, so I'm kind of cool with this decision right here. You know, I will say throughout the rest of this match, and this is the debate, other than Charlotte, who else is really going to win this match when you really think about it? Yes, you could say Bianca, which I did too. I'm sure some people are going to say Jordan Grace, but I'm like, she just got here. But looking at a lot of the names that were in this match, who is really going to win the Royal Rumble other than the first 2-3 people I named? I know they weren't going to give it to Jax. They weren't going to give it to, and listen, Roxanne lasted all the way from what, 3? So she was in there probably the longest time, but they're not going to give the squirrel the Royal Rumble win right here, okay? She from NXT is still there. Obviously, this is introducing her to the main roster and whatnot, but she was not going to win. But looking at a lot of the people within this match and even the build going into the Women's Royal Rumble, who did you really think was going to win right here? So just really kind of take a moment and think about that for a second. But I'm going to pass it on to the next person and give their thoughts on the Royal Rumble.
Hey, all right. So, is it possible? Also, somebody is echoing with her. But is it possible we could go by variants of 10? So like every 10 wrestlers, and then we stop and kind of break down. It was so much that I wanted to say, but I hella forgot. um, Overall, the Rumble, the Women's Rumble was great. Man, it was so many people that freak. Trish Stratus does look great. Her ass is bigger. Who thought that was going to be a thing? Then check that off on my bingo list. She looks amazing. I thought she was going to last a little bit longer, honestly. Charlotte Flair was who I thought was going to win. Bianca Belair was also who I thought was going to be up there to win. Anybody else who I really couldn't tell you. What else was I going to say? The first 10, I did like the first 10 entrants that came out. I have to look back at the list. I thought Io Sky was gonna actually last longer than she did, but she didn't. I thought Jade Cargill was gonna come in. She didn't come in. But overall, it was a really good one. I can't wait to see Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill go at it at some point. I think that's going to be cool. Yeah, but it was very much so. Also, Jordan Grace, when she did that she picked up Piper Nivens, like, what the fuck? She did that shit no problem. Tap, tap, and just fucking stood her up on some John Cena Big Show type shit. That was crazy. Absolutely good. It was a good match. Definitely won it. Definitely who I thought was going to won. Everybody said she took a long time coming down the ring. Yeah, but she also just got over a whole ass injury. So take your time. You got a whole lot more wrestling to do. You got a whole ass WrestleMania match to get ready for. So take your time getting down there. Don't rush down there. Don't start running down there and then fuck around and tear something in your first match back. So everything looks good. I also thought she was going to take that leg brace off at some point. I thought she was playing it off at a point too where I thought she was walking down the ring, and at some point she was going to go in there and kill, and then take the brace off. Like, I'm fine, I'm 100%, let's go. But she didn't. So the brace, I think, it will be there for a while. Maybe it might be a Stone Cold Steve Austin type situation. She just wrestles with that motherfucker for the rest of her career. Who knows? Yeah, the middle of the Royal Rumble, it was pretty good. It didn't really pick up to me until the last 10. Um, Nikki Bella was a surprise. There's always that one person in the Royal Rumble where you're like, why are they there? But they there. She was this entrance. I really thought that was going to be Jade Cargill coming down, but it wasn't. Yeah, but overall, it was pretty good.
All right,
Shay.
me personally, I'm both positive and negative on this Rumble. Like, just to start with the positive, it was worked way better than last year's. Even though last year's I still liked a lot. I still thought it was a lot of fun. It was mad botchy, and maybe that's because they pumped it full of women who really weren't ready for that spot. But in this one, you got, Jordan and Bianca and Naomi and Bailey and Stephanie and Julie and Roxanne. Like, you got like shooters in here. So, and in terms of that, like, it was worked way better than last year's. But there's so many underlying problems with everything involving the women that people just kind of just let go because I guess they're women. It's like that bit where Nia Jax just dumps everybody out and eliminates the whole lot of people, and you got like top names in there like Io and Bianca. You got Naomi in there. You got Julia and Stephanie. Like, they would never do a spot like that in the men's rumble on those kind of names. Like, just imagine if like Big Show was in the rumble and you had like Cena and Batista and Randy Orton and all them hanging out there, and Big Show just dumps them out. You would never see that. But because I guess they're women, everybody was just like, oh, wow, whatever. But I'm like, nah, bro. Bianca Belair and Io Sky getting dumped out like some scrubs in this rumble was so egregious, bro. I was just sitting there like, are you serious? I didn't even really care what happened after that, because and it's not even that I wanted Bianca to win, uh, but I was just sitting there like these are the women who are carrying like the backbone of this division that you don't even really want to book sometimes. Like, Bianca and Io are the ones who are holding this ship together, and you just dump them out unceremoniously like they were just anybody else. And I'm like, you would never do that with top stars for the men. And the fact that they just, hey, here you go. That was so trash to me. And Charlotte winning was also trash. I hear you, Bryce, that they didn't do the work to make anybody else feel like they could have won. But that's an indictment on the booking. That's not a justification on Charlotte winning. Like, this is some Vince stuff. Charlotte just shows up and right back where she left off in the main event of WrestleMania. That's trash. And they're going to have another person to compete for the other championship that she's not going to pick. So why wouldn't you just have whoever that person is win the Rumble and then have Charlotte like win the Chamber or something to get her spot? Why does she have to win the Rumble? Why does she have to get the accolade of being the first woman to win two? Like, did she need any of that? No, she didn't, bro. And when she won, I was like, yeah, I guess. And in fact, before that, it became very clear that she was going to win. just by who was left in the rings. Like, wow, that's what we're doing, huh? And unlike other people, I mean, I wasn't upset that we didn't see Becky and Jade and Asuka and all that. I'm like, you don't have to blow your load in one match. You can stretch this out for weeks to, tell your stories, do whatever you need to do. But like Charlotte winning was just such a that is what took me out of it more than anything else. That one spot where Io and Bianca got dumped like scrubs, and then Charlotte winning, I was just like, ah. And as far as the reaction thing goes, again, that's just an indictment on how they've been booking. Well, it's a combination of things. One, Triple H hasn't booked the majority of these women to feel like they matter on the show, like at all. And two, all these Def Rebel theme songs, dog. Like I didn't even know who the majority of these women were coming out until their name popped up on the screen. And some of them even have their name being said in the song. And I'm like, wait, what? Who's this? And I watch, like, take Jada Parker for instance. I watch NXT every week, and I did not know that was her coming out. I was like, I forgot they changed her song this week on NXT. Why? I have no idea, but they did it, and that ruined the reaction she could have got. Like, if that OTM music hit, it's like, oh, Jada Parker's out here. But nah, first we got to figure out who it is. So that ruins the. And that happened again later on. We'll get to that. But yeah, man, I was positive on it because it was well worked. I got a lot of my favorite women's wrestlers in there doing what they do best, and that was awesome. Chelsea Green being, a highlight, just like always with her bits, without it feeling forced like the Santino stuff. Like she was getting her stuff off, and it was cool. But then that elimination happened with all these women getting dumped like nobodies when they shouldn't be, and then Charlotte won, and I was just like, that's what we're doing, huh? And I mean, I'm not concerned about her picking Tiffany and beating her, like whatever, man. I don't care about that, but it's just the fact that she won the Rumble, dog. It's like she ain't had to win the Rumble, man. So I was positive on it, but that a few of them things was like, what are we doing here? Also, Mickey James was there. She wasn't in the Rumble. What are we doing? You put B-Fab in there, but you can't put Mickey James. Come on, dog. What are you doing? Well, yeah, that's it.
I do agree. It does. I do want to say a couple things just to kind of counter. I definitely agree to Mickey James part because they literally showed her after the match. So I don't know why she couldn't be in it. Like you said, a lot of people's theme songs just got changed out the blue that you didn't even know who was really coming out. And I'm like, oh, and we'll get to like these horrible Def Rebel theme songs later. Trust me, we'll get into that more into. But yeah, it's just randomly changed and gone. The booking of Bianca is, other than getting dumped like a scrub, I think I said this to you yesterday. It's like, yeah, you want Bianca to win, but it's like, come on, man. She wasn't gonna win. And then I even brought up a subject of saying, hey man, Triple H never even booked her to be the damn NXT Women's Champion when she was down there. She ain't really become the shit until she got to the main roster. Which, kind of makes you wonder sometimes. So it is kind of, it really makes you think.
Oh, I'm wondering.
But yeah, oh yeah, and just like I said before, when it comes to the booking of a lot of these women, we've talked about this before. Hell, if you ain't Rhea Ripley, you don't really matter on Raw. And I don't think it's gonna be Charlotte versus Ripley again if they really want to run that back. I don't think so. It'll probably be against Tiffany if she's even still the champion at that point. So yeah, it's like it's either two choices in all this. Either they're gonna run the same match back from a few years ago, or they gonna do something different. But it almost like, hey, once again, it's the in case of emergency, break the Charlotte glass. Because like I said, I look at a lot of people, and you look at how they've been booked. You can see a lot of them either had no reaction or you don't even really care. Chelsea Green, at least, like you said, you gotta give Chelsea Green credit. She was over, and people were pretty pissed off when she got eliminated in this because like everything she did, people really cheered for her. So they were behind her, but some people either got eliminated unceremoniously. Hell, I kind of almost forgot Bird Girl was the women's Continental champion already. But I guess they're leading into something with that with Ivy Nile. I think that's probably gonna happen. Like just looking at some of the stories from here, and then even after when Bianca and them got eliminated, they start brawling with Liv and Raquel, because that's gonna be for like the tag titles, I'm sure. But once again, I would have at least thought Bianca probably would have got to the final, maybe 4 and whatnot. And because the Nikki Bella stuff, I rolled my eyes, and then I'm looking at her doing a move, and then for some reason hitting like Scott Steiner push-ups out there for some reason, and then fucking Roxanne does it too. I'm like, y'all are not Scott Steiner. What are y'all doing? Like, what are we doing here? So when it just kind of got more to the finals, you could easily tell who was gonna win this, and it's like I said before, like who else were they really gonna give this to? Hey, I like EO, but I knew that wasn't gonna happen. And given when we got to the final 3, this was easy to tell. Like I said, we're not gonna give it to somebody from NXT. They weren't gonna give it fucking Roxanne, Squirrel, whatever. They weren't gonna give it to the Fridge too. So it just kind of made it very easy to tell who's gonna win. But I do think but I do gotta remember she just come back off injury. But the whole pyro and the grandstand and entrance thing, I just kind of had to laugh. I'm like, why is she getting all this grand entrance for? So I don't know. It was kind of funny to me, some sort of way. But it's like you said, it's a lot to do with the booking of the women and whatnot, and how they are, especially on the main roster. But it was nice to see to get a few NXT cameos. I'm sure a lot of people thought Becky was coming back, like you said, Jade. Hell, some people really believe AJ Lee was going to return, and that didn't happen. So you got a couple good
saying that for
returns.
years though.
Yeah, they've been saying that for years. But good, given we got a few NXT people, like you said, between Julia, Becaire, Roxanne, Lash, Parker, and you got like few legendary returns, Trish, Nikki Bella and all that. So you got some of that too. But like I said, it kind of became really easy for me to tell who was going to win this Rumble. So that's why I was like, I'm going to just put Charlotte as my second pick. So I just figured it was going to come. But I didn't think the Rumble was bad. I thought it was pretty good. But like I said before, a lot of people came out to no reaction.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I don't know why we would expect anything different when, I mean, just watch Raw and stuff. And it's not even a lack of talent. Like you got some real shooters on Raw, but they just they book them like garbage, bro. It's crazy because, and I'll make this same point later on in the men's rumble, but it's like you see somebody like Shayna Baszler, and you know what she could be under Triple H, and yet he still just doesn't book her like that. It's
I'm actually
like
surprised by that.
you already did this with her. Same thing with when Oscar was around. Like you already did this, so just do it again. So it was you, bro, booking these people in NXT, and everyone complained when they came to the main roster that Vince ruined what you did, and now you got the book and you still treating them like that. Like, what's happening, bro? What are we doing, Trips?
I'm honestly surprised. Yeah, Baszler, they have not done her any favors. Like, even I thought it was probably gonna change for her, but I guess not. And you just put her in this job group, which nobody really cares about, honestly. And they tried to make them somewhat. Oh, we're gonna have them team up and try to throw people out, and then they just kind of all get thrown. I think Baszler, like I said, I think Baszler was off camera. So yeah, you look at her book, and it's like, yeah, look at the people you booked as killers in the past and had these long title win streaks in NXT. It's like, nah, like they're not gonna do nothing with them, or they just kind of, even in this Rumble, get dumped unceremoniously. Hey, listen, I think Roxanne is good, but even I didn't think she needed to be in there that damn long. I'll say that right now. I'm honestly
I
surprised
think
she
they
was
were.
in there damn near towards the end. But they trying to push the NXT people. I get it, but
Mhm.
it's to
But
introduce them
she's
to
the
the main
next big
roster.
thing. Like, why would you not do that though?
Yeah.
I think she would get a lot of good time. I didn't think they was gonna keep her all the way to the end. Like Sean was
I mean,
like,
but why
okay,
not?
we got to make her look good.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
When I say like, why wouldn't you do it? But it's like it was just kind of like I was actually just surprised. I'm like, damn, she made it all the way to the end.
Don't be surprised if she has like a WrestleMania match with Bailey, because that kind of seems where they're going with all that.
Possibly, it's a possibility.
That would not be bad.
Because Bailey's booking, that's another questionable thing too. But that'd be a long list to go off of, anyways.
It's just the women in general, man. Like outside of Rhea and now Charlotte, like it. It's just the women in general. Triple H is showing he just doesn't really care about making any interesting women stories. Period. Like, and I don't look, man. People already got you the allegations on black talent now. Like the women's talent, the tag talent. Like it ain't exclusive. It's going
Well, we're gonna
around.
get
If
to the
you ain't
tag in a
certain
No,
people,
second.
yeah, I want to speak on that too. The whole let's put the blacks in the middle of the ring for the first day of Black History Month. And I was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah, they were all
that's
standing
crazy. And
together.
they jumped the B-Fab out, so she didn't even get to participate.
right.
Yeah, they all standing in the ring together, just shaking up like, "Hey, what's good, y'all? Like, what up though? Like, just let's all have four of them just come around and stand together. Like, hey, yo, this what's up? It's Black History Month."
Niggas had
And
their own
like,
DEI program in the middle of the ring and shit. Like, damn.
Like Bianca and Naomi weren't just feuding with Lash and Jakar.
literally this
Like,
week,
bro, this week, bro.
literally literally this week. But like, hey, what's up? Yo? It's all good. We had a match the other night, but hey, we all good and everything and all that. So I
That's
was
definitely
like,
not a Jada's character. Like Jada should have just been throwing everybody. She
Not for real.
don't like nobody, bro.
it's like it's me against everybody out here. So that's what it would have been with her. But I just saw that as like, well, it's Black History Month. So like, hey, let's get all the black talent in the middle of the ring together. And Bianca, I'm just hoping they get her out of this tag team thing soon. I really do. Like I really, really do. I just want to have this
Well,
tag team.
based on how she was booked in the Rumble, you might be waiting for a little bit, brother.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But other than like I said, then the match itself, because it's went like 70 minutes out there. Let's move on to the next thing. After multiple commercials and going to other legends or people within the crowd, Godfather, where the hoes at, Mickey James out there, Kurt Angle. I'm gonna be nice and not try to say Perk Angle nowadays, even though it was never really anything disrespectful. But I saw his interview and what he said, so I'm gonna try not to say that, even though it was never really a disrespectful thing. But if you know Kurt's problems in TNA years ago, you understand. Um, Next, though, which this is a match that really fell off, and let's be honest, they didn't have a good position on the card right here. And then again, this is after a Rumble match. A 2 out of 3 falls match between the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not really even care what was going on here. The crowd didn't really care what was going on here. I felt like the first 2 falls went very fast, so they're gonna have a full match in the third one. Cause like what DIY got the first one with Ciampa hitting like the big knee strike on I think Saban, or was it Shelley? Somebody said they looked like whatever coat Alex Shelley came out there with. Somebody said they looked like they dressed for Hot Topic for some reason. Um, the Guns got the second fall because they had the Skull and Bones. But then when we get to the third fall then of this match, the Street Profits randomly return. I don't even remember the last time I saw them on SmackDown. I think they said they got beat up or something, and they immediately take out the Guns first with like a crutch and basically help DIY win, and DIY won, and then the Street Profits end up attacking. Like I said, I honestly did not care about this match when it comes to the tag team division, especially on SmackDown. Nobody really seems to care, and just like SmackDown, nobody really seems to react like they did right here. For this match on the pay-per-view. Some people wonder if this match even should have been. Hell, this is the first time a tag team title match has been on a pay-per-view since WrestleMania of last year. Okay? So that's how long it's been. We don't ever see any type of tag team title match on any of these pay-per-views at this point. This was the only time we've seen one in this long of a time, okay? Listen, I like the Motor City Machine Guns a lot, all right? But I can't say they've really been over like that ever since they got to the WWE, or people don't seem to care. DIY is whatever for me. I'd rather have Ciampa be going back to the Black Heart, Goldie and all that by himself. Why they keep Gargano around still with him, honest to God, I don't even know or really care. It's like I'd rather see Ciampa in a singles push. But I don't think this tag team match did no favors for anybody out there. Because looking at the division right now on SmackDown and what they've been doing, it ain't nothing to write home about. You could probably say that with Raw also. But SmackDown, definitely, because the Profits, hell, like I said, what the hell have they done lately too? So this was, to me, I think this was the worst match out of the whole night. I really do. This was probably the worst match of the night.
Right. So if I had to do my own booking, first thing I would do is switch the match types between Cody Rhodes, KO, and this tag team match. Make this match a ladder match. Make Cody versus KO a 2 out of 3 falls. And in this ladder match, it would give the Street Profits more of a reason to actually attack, and it wouldn't just be as awkward because they would just be able to come out and attack if they wanted to. Uh, and I would honestly leave it at a draw because it was a very boring match. And I feel like if the Street Profits attacked and then they went up the ladder and just took the titles down themselves, and they're like, "Nigga, we want these. These are ours now." Like we're coming for the shit. Fuck this match. That would have been more like that would have brought more heat than what the Street Profits did. It was just more so like, okay, they came out and hit somebody with a crutch, and the crutch broke after the first hit, but we supposed to believe that this crutch is still knocking niggas out. So I didn't, I didn't like sitting with it after a night. I didn't quite like how the Street Profits came out. It could have been better if they were going for, we're tired of this shit, whatever. We're about to just start attacking whoever until we get what we want. Um, and again, 2 out of 3 falls for this tag match. Just I would have rather saw it with Cody Rhodes and KO. They would have made it more interesting. Because you saw what they did with that ladder match, they fucking killed. So again, I would, just to make this match more entertaining, that should have been a ladder match. Because this match, 2 out of 3 falls was like, respectfully to the wrestlers, a yawn fest.
All right, man. This match just made me sad. Because, and I straight up told you, Bryce, if this exact same match don't change a single thing about this match. If this exact same match was wrestled in like 2009 Ring of Honor or 2016 NXT at a takeover or something, it would have been insane. You wouldn't have to change any how they did the moves or even the finish with the street. You wouldn't have to change anything, and it would have gotten such a huge reaction. The Motor City Machine Guns are legit a legendary tag team, bro. Legends. The two of them have single-handedly changed the landscape of how tag team wrestling is even wrestled today. And DIY, I know you hate Johnny Gargano, Bryce, but they are part of objectively some of the greatest tag team matches in WWE history. And it's like, yeah, but who cares? Like, I just sat there watching the match, and I was here. I was there for it. I'm like, look, I'm a big fan of all 4 of these guys because they're all amazing at what they do, and this is going to be lit. And I just watched the match, and I just heard the crickets, and I could feel the crickets, and that takes you out of it as a fan because, like, if nobody cares, and I already knew that going into it, I already knew. I was worried about it before this even happened, before the Guns even signed here. I said, look, if that's what y'all want to do, cool. But one, that company doesn't care about tag team wrestling, and two, those WWE fans don't react to anything if you're not like the top stars of the company. And it's just facts, bro. To watch this match knowing what this could have been literally anywhere else outside of AEW, because they didn't give the Guns respect either. It's just like, wow, bro. Like, it really blew my mind. I was sad watching it. I'm like, these dudes are out here killing each other. They're doing crazy spots and moves. The Guns being at the age they are can still move like this is 2005 is insane. And they're going out there and having a great match. But since nobody cares, it makes the match much worse. You're just sitting there waiting for the big thing to happen because nobody's reacting to anything. And like I said, I already knew that before they even finished it. Like Triple H, bro, you you I don't know what it is about you, dog, because you aren't putting any effort into any of this, and yet you put this match on the card and just expected people to react like you have been, but like, but you didn't. Like, we all watch the shows. We see it. You haven't treated anything tag team related, SmackDown or Raw, as if it matters. And yet you just do something like this and just say, all right, yeah, they'll care about it. Sure. Why wouldn't they? Like, bro, do the work and make people care. And you haven't done that at all, man. And it just makes me sad seeing these four guys having this match in front of that crowd, and I can't even blame the crowd about it because what did you do, bro? What work did you do to make people care about any of this, whether it be tag team wrestling in general or these specific four guys? Nothing. You haven't built up any compelling stories. That, yeah, you just did a heel turn on the whim, but you didn't build to that. It just kind of happened, and I mean, what were DIY doing before that? What were the Guns doing before that? Like, I just everything about this just made me sad, dog. Because, like I said, you put this match on literally anywhere else except AEW, this match would have gone crazy. But because Triple H treats tag team wrestling the way he does, and these crowds only care about the top stars, which is going to be hilarious when we talk about the Rumble later on. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really know what they could have done considering what they did do. I mean, you weren't going to get any kind of reaction, period, with how you built this up and how you've treated this division, man. So it just is what it is. And I'm not going to hate on the match too much because, like I said, they were working out there. But it's just like, yeah, but nobody cared. So whatever, man.
Booker of the year, folks. Booker of the year, as everybody would like to say. But no, seriously, no, he has not done the tag team division really any favors. And like you said, the reaction, nobody really seems to care. Listen, love the Motor City Machine Guns. Seen them wrestle live multiple times in person. Like you said, probably one of the greatest. But like I said, this was in NXT, Ring of Honor. Hell, this was in TNA. It would have gotten a bigger reaction. But just given the booking of a lot of these teams, um, they have not. They haven't done really much for them. They really haven't. It's just like the teams, but do you really tend to care? And trust me, I tell you, with SmackDown, it's like they're out there, but it's very quiet. It's like crickets out there half the time. Okay, like and like you said, even with both DIY and the Guns, what have they really done lately for you to really even care about whatever story they got going on? Because it doesn't seem like anybody does. But I do have a question for you real fast. What did you think about the Street Profits coming back and, taking out both teams with a crutch? What do you think about that, Steven?
I didn't really, yeah, I didn't really even. I was so upset about the other shit. I didn't even. Yeah, fine. You know, it. I don't know. It's kind of the same problem. It's like if the fans don't already really care about the Guns, then turning heel, just like Gargano, like turning heel on them doesn't really put you at a better position than you were already at because people didn't care. So now Street Profits, they turned heel on the Guns and also attacked DIY. So their affiliation is kind of up in the air. Like, are they heel? Are they face? That's fine, whatever. I just don't. I personally don't really get excited for Street Profit stuff anymore because I feel like the potential of both of these guys doing literally anything else is wasted because I've seen what Montez can be by himself and they completely squandered that. And I actually feel like Dawkins could do the same thing if they put, because he's just as charismatic, like, and he can go. I mean, what more do you need? They just don't have any desire to do anything with them as singles competitors. And so they're just pigeonholed in this dying tag team division. So while I thought the angle was fine, it's just like, yeah, but this is going to be more of the same. Y'all are going to do this little, bit. Maybe it'll be more aggressive, change your presentation up. Cool. They're going to feud with these guys for a while. And then what? Like, you don't build up it. What they're going to feud with Theory and Waller again? Like, it's like they're going to feud with Legato. Like, who? I can't care about any of this, man. I'm a big fan of those guys, man. But Triple H hasn't shown me anything to make me feel like he's going to make the Street Profits matter or tag teams in general. So I thought the reveal was cool, but I'm not excited.
I was gonna say, sure. You got anything else on that or nah?
No, you basically said everything that I feel.
Yeah.
I,
Space. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I will say this. I hope what Big E said after the Royal Rumble resonates with Triple H in some way about how most tag teams, like they're only seen as tag teams. They don't reach a certain level as solo wrestlers. I feel like that needs to change. I'm hoping that this USO push is one of the things that resonates with Triple H, where it's like, okay, what if we did this with other wrestlers? I was telling Bryce yesterday, if you took the same gimmick that Jey Uso has, the exact same gimmick, the exact same push, the exact same Royal Rumble victory, and we went to another universe in which that person was Montez Ford, I could completely see the same thing and be like, oh yeah, this makes complete sense. The same amount of sense that it makes to me that Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. The same, like the whole crowd screaming yeet, the whole crowd just singing his graces. I can see the same shit from Montez Ford. But for some
And he's a
reason,
better wrestler.
and he's a better wrestler.
That's true.
He can do a lot
That's
more.
facts.
But for some reason, it's like he's only being seen as the other half of Street Profits, and it's like you got, like you say, you squandering something that you really should be pushing like crazy. So that's the way I feel about it, and that's why I feel like y'all coming out with a crutch and y'all think like this, yeah, whatever. There's so much more that y'all could be doing.
No, that's true. I definitely agree, especially when it comes to Montez. Like they wanted to do it, and they just stopped doing it, and they just only been a tag team ever since. Last thing I will say, both the Guns and DIY's theme song sucks because it's Def Rebel, but we'll get some more of that later on too. When it comes to these
Bro,
theme songs.
look, hey, I admittedly don't watch SmackDown like that because I think it's boring. And so I just get all my, what happened on SmackDown later on, either from you or podcasts, whatever. So this was really my first like exposure to hearing and seeing the Guns presentation. What is this? Raise your fist? Are they Black Panthers? What are we doing here, bro? This is my first time hearing this, and I was like, what the hell is this? Raise your fist. Like, what? Oh, my God. Never mind. I'm just going to stop because I could go off. But trash, bro. Garbage. Booty butt, bro. I can't stand it.
Oh God! Raise your fist! Raise your fist! What?
They should
I
make
was
Wale the head of their music department.
please somebody else. Everybody
Anybody.
has bad music, or everybody has a lot of bad rap music on here too. Maybe Wale would have done better. But look,
Bro, it's all some generic trap beats and stuff with just people just saying things like that one female rapper they got who does all the themes. Like, what? There's no way. There's no way the nigga who came out the Motorhead for 20 years thinks any of this is good. There's no way. There's no way he hears this and thinks it's actually good, bro. It's got to be like a cost cutting thing because there's no way they think it's good.
No, yeah, it's bad. It's really, really. No, this music sucks. No, it really, really sucks. I just want to say, and I know they're gonna do this. It's kind of crazy. Jordan Grace came out to her TNA theme song. Can we give the Guns back their TNA theme song, please? Because this is trash.
Please.
A lot of this music is trash, but that was trash. Oh, God, raise your fist. Raise your fist. What the? I was like, I knew they was gonna get some bad music, but I didn't know it was gonna be this bad.
What does it even mean? Like, what does that have to do with them being the Machine Guns? I don't understand.
We're gonna raise our fists. Raise your fist.
That's like James Ellsworth's gimmick. Like, what are we talking about? Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna get into more of the music, but it's good we said something about that now because that song is bad. That song is really, really bad. Raise your fists. But let's move on. No, they went to more people in the crowd. Farouk, Ron Simmons, Damn, um, Rick Steiner, Roof, and RVD, the whole effing show out there, always super over. So hey, it's RVD. You can never not be over. He was showing like UFC fighter Bel Muhammad out there in the crowd too. So they were showing more people out there. But we move on to the ladder match. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE title. One thing I thought was a little bit weird, and I swear they did this like a week ago, but didn't they give up the titles so they could be hung up? So why did they come out with the title belts if they already kind of gave them up so they could be hung in the air? I thought they were going to like come out without the belts. I'm like, they still got them. And Kevin Owens and his inexplicable T-shirts, which has probably been one of the best things out of this feud, the son of a security systems technician himself, which I thought was, I know he wore it before, but he has come out there with some funny creative shirts just to go against people, be heel on them. But this match was brutal. I thought it was gritty. I thought Kevin Owens really kicked the shit out of Cody throughout most of this match. Either if it wasn't hitting him with a small ladder out there, it was a lot of ladder spots. Still think one of the most brutal ones was the one that was on a bridge, and Kevin Owens did that damn fisherman buster on it. Like Cody almost hit the back of his head, I think, on it, which was pretty brutal. Or even power bomb him on it, which was brutal itself too. Even taking off the rungs of the ladder, they start hitting each other with out there. I will say this about the broadcast table too, because at this point, I don't know why everybody even tries to break this thing now. Because given how strong this new table they have nowadays that's very expensive, why does everybody try to let it gonna break it, but they're not really gonna break it? Like we already seen what happened to JD McDonough. Prayers up to him. We saw how hard this table is, but I wonder now, it's like if it's this strong, why does everybody try to keep breaking it? But like I said, throughout this match, a lot of ladder spots. I'm just trying to name them all throughout there. Cody trying to get up to the titles, Kevin Owens, pulling him off of there, even slamming him to the ladder. I thought was pretty brutal. Um, there was one point where I know the fans was chanting "Holy shit" out there because what Kevin tried to go for like the power driver, I think, but Cody backdropped him on like to the ladder, which was pretty crazy. And then like throughout this match, it was I think mostly after that fisherman buster suplex on the ladder bridge. Next, Nick Aldis, and then you got referees and producers, and then Sami Zayn just popping up there since we figured he was gonna be involved, even though he didn't really do anything. He was checking on Owens like the entire time throughout this match, and Sami just kept checking him and everything. Um, Cody, still tried to go for the titles, but Owens stopped them, and then they went to the broadcast table. Then, which Cody ended up slamming him onto the broadcast table, and then he did like a big Alabama slam off the broadcast table onto like the ladder, which basically Kevin Owens folded up like a damn accordion then after that, and was bleeding from the top of his head. And Sammy's just checking on him, and Cody just ended up getting in the ring, and he took the titles, and he still retained the WWE title. So he got the Wing Eagle and the regular WWE title, and won the match from there. Kevin Owens is still down, and Sami Zayn's just looking on. So I guess this obviously something's gonna happen with Sami and Kevin at some point later on. So it's a feud that'll probably never end with them. Even though, like I said, Sami did come out there, but he didn't particularly help all the way too. But I think we all figured Cody was gonna retain the title anyways, though. But hell of a finish, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, I love this match. I got no complaints. it it was brutal, and it's one of those matches where it's like, yeah, y'all have built this to be personal and violent. So when we get to the match, it better be that. And it was definitely that. It reminded me, I'm not going to say like an old school ladder match, but it definitely gave vibes of that, where it was more about, hurting your opponent than just doing crazy spots. And I really loved that, man. It took me back. And yeah, I got literally no complaints. It was brutal, hard hitting. And I mean, I know everybody online was like, man, this is real heelish of Cody. But I'm like, yo, they built this to be this. Like, if I got to opt like this, I'm doing exactly everything Cody did. Like, heel or face. Like, nah, this dude got to. I'm putting some hands on him, and I'm gonna make him remember that I did it. You know. And even the Sami Zayn stuff is really interesting because on the surface, yeah, you would just think, well, this is going to lead to Kevin and Sammy because he didn't actually help Kevin when he, in his time of need, when he needed the most, whatever, whatever. But then later on in the Rumble, they did the bit where I don't remember what exactly happened. Sammy moved like Jay out the way of something, and then he ended up getting eliminated himself. And since they've been playing this bit on Raw that Sammy needs to stop looking out for other people and needs to start doing things selfishly for himself. Maybe it doesn't end up with Kevin and Sammy going against each other Mania, but maybe they collectively go heel or something and something comes of that instead because they did tell that story in the Rumble where, well, Sammy yet again did something for somebody else and it ended up costing him. And then in this match, it's like, well, he didn't do the thing to help Kevin Owens win so he can selfishly get his match with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Instead, he just did the right thing and just let the match go as it went. So I don't know. There's some intrigue there with Sami Zayn that it doesn't just have to be, the stereotypical, oh, here we go, Sammy Kevin. It could be something else, and they got me on the hook, bro. Like everything that happened here, good stuff, man. No complaints.
I'll put it to you like this: Sami Zayn is going heel at some point. He crossed carrying, and we all know what happens when people cross carrying. So I feel like that's gonna happen at some point. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I do like that theory of them like teaming up. I could also see Kevin Owens. This nigga is like a Mike monster, so this motherfucker can just easily do like give us a face promo, and I can see Sammy being like, "Yeah," but and just like completely screwing Kevin over if they take the route of a WrestleMania not a main event, but a WrestleMania match. Um, but I could also see them teaming up. Either way, I feel like Sammy is about to go heel. He's realizing the same thing that you just said, especially in the Royal Rumble. It's like every time I help somebody, end up fucking myself over. That has to stop. Um, I can't wait to see how that goes. Now the match itself, again, it was one of my favorite matches. Outside of the Royal Rumbles, of course, there was only like two matches outside of the Royal Rumble, so it wasn't hard to do that. But very much so, they lived up to their end of the bargain. They gave us a great fucking match. That Alabama Slam that folded Kevin, I was like, God, like that looked painful. That looked painful. The power bomb on a little ladder looked crazy as hell. I liked all the spots. I liked that they fought around the stadium, grabbing people's drinks and like smacking each other with it. That felt like like some video game shit. I always love that type of shit. Um, Very much so. It was just a really entertaining match. It does make me wonder what's what Cody's gonna do next, because I do think whatever KO and Sammy is gonna do, whether it be team up, go against each other, will be outside of whatever Cody's doing for WrestleMania. So I do wonder what's up next for Cody, but I feel like we could talk more about that after the Royal Rumble match ends.
Gotcha. But no, this was definitely a great match. Like I said, I don't really have really much to say. I had a problem with out here, but yeah, I thought it was good. And like I said, the story with Sammy and it's like what Gerard brought up Cross and everything, because basically he's Sean O'Hare 2003 with the Devil's Advocate gimmick. So I guess they really are trying with Cross now. Thank God they got him away from that Wyatt Six stuff because that wasn't doing him no favors. But they really are trying something. We've seen him for multiple weeks now with Sammy accidentally kicking people. So yeah, it's slowly turning him turning heel. Hey, yeah, you can't blame Cody for getting. Oh, Cody's going heel. Well, yeah, you can't blame Cody for getting real pissed off and everything and taking out Kevin Owens. I will say this: I really thought Randy Orton was going to return here. I kind of actually thought that was going to happen, but no, we didn't
I
get
thought so too.
yeah, we didn't get Orton, so I definitely thought he was going to come back tonight. But like, yeah, Cody was gonna win here and retain the title. But like I said, it was a brutal match, and they did some brutal spots out there. So like I said, I don't really got much to really say. I just thought it was a great match, so I enjoyed it. Moving on, and I want to take something quick to talk about real fast when I saw this, and I was gonna get probably later into the Rumble review when this happened, but let me say this, and me and Steve, I think we all talked about this in different ways. I had to laugh and shake my head when I saw that WWE Evolve stuff they were
Oh my
promoting.
gosh.
Like, don't get me started. And trust me, I didn't want to go on this little rant, especially when it comes to TNA. I probably should have said this more when when the Genesis review happened. But like when me and Steve especially talked about Evolve and how WWE basically absorbed them and everything. And now it's like, it's just another developmental system, because Evolve was its own promotion like a few years ago. But when they worked with the WWE, they basically got assimilated and whatnot, and they closed down, and the WWE took them and their talent. And this is the thing I worry about with TNA sometimes when it comes to this WWE partnership and whatnot. I don't hate the partnership. I think it's better than the one that happened with AEW and TNA, because AEW just straight up clown TNA through literally all of it, especially with Tony Khan. My problem with this partnership right now, listen, it's only with NXT when it comes to them and TNA. I think some people were expecting like Roman Reigns or John Cena was going to pop up on TNA television. I don't think that was going to happen. AJ Styles, yeah, that's a possibility, but not everybody else. And I look at what's going on right now with this partnership. Hey, I'm glad to see TNA doing bigger crowds. I'm glad to see TNA doing bigger stuff nowadays. I really am. I know a lot of people have left. I think it was mostly Scott D'Amore guys that really left from up out of there now. But listen, like I said, I'm glad to see them doing live shows. I hope they get a television deal. Some people believe that this partnership, so like WWE producers or whatever personnel, can help with the television production over there. Because yes, the production has changed over there in TNA. But the thing I said when it comes to this deal, I'm like, dude, don't become some developmental farm system to the WWE, okay, or get bought out by the WWE. I don't want to see that happen. Because I tell you right now, if that ever happened, WWE bought TNA, that'd be the last time I would stop watching TNA after that. I'd be done. I would never go back and watch it. I just can't do that. I can't. No, no, I'm not doing that shit. I'm like, if that ever would happen, I hope it doesn't happen. I really don't. But when I just saw that WWE Evolve thing, I just kind of shook my head and just like, I really hope this doesn't happen to TNA. I really, really don't. And everybody wants to say like, oh, well, Rex, you got to understand, it's a different company. It's the TKO and all that. Triple H here and there. Hey, Triple H was the one that was working with Evolve when all this happened. And look, like, this is still the WWE at the end of the day, okay? I don't care who's in charge right now. Like, this is, like, we've seen what happened with the territories and other stuff and other promotions. We've seen what happened, I guess you could say, when it comes to WCW and ECW and whatnot. All right. And yeah, Evolve was a smaller promotion. I understand that. I don't know how long they were around, but yes, they're a small promotion. TNA has been around here for over 20 something years now. Okay. And I don't think Anthem is going to give up TNA that easily to the WWE if that were to happen. Not saying it's going to happen. And I didn't want to jump to conclusions when it comes to this whole partnership. And some say I have to jump to conclusions with this. But, you just got to kind of keep an eye. People have noticed it sometimes here and there when it comes to the talent. And we'll talk about a little bit more TNA later when it comes to the Rumble. But I had to say something about this because I haven't really had a chance to really talk about this whole partnership. But just looking at that WWE Evolve thing, I'm just like, I just kind of shook my head. It's like, yeah, it's on Tubi and whatnot, and some people saying it's competing with AEW now. But I was like, does WWE need another developmental system when we already got NXT? Like, just really think about that. So I had to say something about that. I had to.
Yeah, that's a legit concern, man. Yeah, I don't know why. Like you just said, if people are like, "Oh, it's TKO, it's Triple H now doing," like, yeah, you said it perfectly. That Triple H was the one who was spearheading this in the first place. The freaking global localization where he stole all the top talent. And I mean, stole is a strong word, but you know what I mean. Like all the top
Poached.
talent in British wrestling. So all
Thank
those indie British companies, they had no draws anymore. And like ICW, like that's another one, like the Evolve deal. And it's like he was trying to take over Japan. He was trying to get in there with New Japan, and they were like, "Yeah, no, we're not interested." Yeah, it's a real concern, man. And I saw people online talking about, oh yeah, well yeah, but TNA would never. Why wouldn't they? I mean, considering they fired Scott D'Amore, they brought in Tessa Blanchard. Anthem does not really care about public perception when it comes to dealing business. Like they don't care, bro. If WWE offers them something that they feel is tangible enough to make that move, they don't care about what that's going to do to any of the wrestlers or fans of the product. What they don't care. They have shown they don't care, bro. So it's a very real concern, man. And I kind of already fell off of TNA since the Tessa Blanchard thing. I mean, I watched Genesis, but other than that, I was like, I kind of see where they're going with this. I'm cool on it. But yeah, man, if the TKO boys come in there and they buy that joint up, yeah, I'm cool on that, bro. But it is just like you said. It's already what it is because they're viewing it on the level of NXT. Like at least in AEW, they presented it on par. Their top guy was going for TNA's World Championship. You are not going to see that in WWE. Like they don't care. They said, look, TNA, that's cool. That's a little big. That's a little bro. Like that's in his lane down there with our developmental system. So that is what it is. But on the Evolve thing, yeah, man, you saw it coming, and your reaction was my reaction. As soon as our messages synced up. As soon as it popped up on both of our TVs, which is like, man, fuck off with that. Like, trash, dog. Like, it's so shameless too, man. They don't even they don't care so much. They're blatantly shameless with it. They know exactly what they did, and they're still just going to present it like, yeah, here's WWE Evolve. Like, they do not care, bro. And you got all the people online, all the drones who are like defending it or whatever. It's like, dude, this company was doing their own thing, bro, until the big bad wolf came in and blew all that shit down. And now they have to live with whatever decisions they made, man. So it's a real concern. And that sucks for Evolve, but somebody got paid. So shout out to that dude, whoever it was.
Gabe
But I
Sapolsky.
guarantee everybody didn't.
Yeah, Gabe Sapolsky. Yeah, I think he's part of like some part. He had some job at WWE. I know that because he was the booker over there. I think he owned Evolve until WWE just ended up taking it. And yeah, they took some talent like Austin Theory and all of them. And that's just kind of it. But I just when I saw that, I just shook my head and I was like, man, I hope this really don't happen to TNA. I was like, I really, really hope this doesn't happen to them. Because like you said, man, there's a reason why they only working with NXT. And look at the people they sent from NXT down there. You're not really sending no top NXT people like that to TNA. You sent top people from TNA to NXT. Hell, you seen it tonight, okay? And whatnot. But looking what they sent, even in like recently, even going back from last week on a live episode, like come on, we sending Cora Jade down there, like Wesley, who did work in that company before, like, come on, who are we really sending down there from NXT? Like, let's be serious here. Like, come on. Like, it just, like I said, I had to say something because I just shook my head when I saw that. And I just feel like, man, that's what I said. TNA should just be careful and watch their back on this. That's all I can really say. So, like I said, I may be jumping to conclusions. I know this just kind of started, but I just had I just had a bad feeling. I just for some reason have a bad feeling about this. But hey, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm
Oh
wrong.
shoot, they don't even have to watch their back because whatever is going to happen, they're going to do it willingly, bro. like,
Yeah.
like nobody's going to force them to do nothing. They're going to just say, "Oh yeah, take it."
And the crazy thing, I like the show. That's the thing. Like I enjoyed the live episode from last week. I thought Genesis was really good. I'm like like I said, I'm glad to see they doing big crowds, but I'm like, I'm not about to look here, and that's why I'm just kind of like a lot of other people, and I've argued with this with other people now. It's like, dude, man, I'm not about to, like I said, I hope they don't become some fucking developmental system because I can't look at them like that. I feel like that feels like a low for me. Like, I'm going to look at them as a fucking developmental system for the fucking WWE. Come on now. Like I'm sorry, and there's talent down there. A lot of good people that we see on that show. Okay, like it's a lot of talent, but it's like I'm not trying to see them become like the like just another branch of WWE. So I don't know, but I had to say something about that because that caught my eye. That really caught my eye. I was gonna say, Gerard, you got anything on this? You got anything to say on this or nah?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch enough TNA to have an opinion. I would love to have an opinion. I just don't watch enough TNA to really be like, this is what I feel about it. Honestly, like I told Bryce before, I don't think it should get bought out, but I feel like there could be a partnership in which NXT actually gets a boost up because of TNA. I don't think TNA can get a boost up from NXT. But I feel like NXT wrestlers can learn from a lot of great veterans by like having this partnership with WWE TNA. I mean, with TNA. And again, I think it's dope to like. I'm a big fan of when two companies come together. I'm a fan of the Forbidden Doors. I'm a fan of the Invasion era of WWE. I was a fan of that. I'm a fan of when I can see people from one company go up against people from other companies and create semi type dream matches. And I feel like also, even if you had like a partnership in which the AJ Styles or formerly known Abyss could be kind of spearheading what happens with TNA and WWE, that would give it at least a little more of a like they would know, seeing how they OG as hell. So, and again, you got Motor City Machine Guns there. So again, I feel like there's a way in which this could all come out well. I'm not afraid of them getting bought out, but I do see this being like a really cool situation in which the newer NXT talent can really learn from dope veterans without being pushed to the main stage without being fully ready.
Yeah, I can understand to some extent. I'll say this before we move on. If there's one thing I do hope out of this, I hope they get a TV deal. I really hope they get a TV deal. I'll at least say that. That's one thing I would like to see is a new TV deal because we know nobody can find the channel unless you have the TNA Plus app. So, yeah.
Oh man, you don't
But
know what channel Wombat TV is on? Jesus, it's channel
Wombat,
3005.
Wombats, Wombat TV. But next, I know they show some more celebrities in the crowd. Tyrese Halliburton's out there. O'Shea Jackson Jr., Kai Cenat, which I thought he was supposed to be streaming this show throughout the whole night, but I guess they just had him out there for the crowd and everything. But he probably been doing it the whole night. But now we actually move on to the Royal Rumble match itself as the main event. And once again, it's gonna be a lot to say in this, so I'm gonna try to go through and try to get all the important details as much as I can. We start off with number one, Rey Mysterio himself. LWO Booyaka Booyaka. Number two, Pentagon Jr. A little bit of a Lucha Underground rivalry, if you've seen that in the past before between both of these two. But starting off with Luchadors, and in fact, I'm sure this is a preview to a match that we will see at some point in the WWE between both Rey Mysterio and Pentagon Jr. One thing immediately, which I think we all saw this at the beginning of this match when Rey did a Hurricane Rana and over the top row with Penta. We could really see Pentagon's feet. Both of his feet hit the mat, which they didn't even replay it because they know his feet hit the mat. Okay. So I was like, did Pentagon just get eliminated already? But they was like, no, it was 1 foot. Like, dude, it was 2 feet. We saw it. Okay. So that was already like some would say the biggest botch out of this was Pentagon getting eliminated, but not really saying he's eliminated out there. But like I said, we start off with both of them. Number 3, Chad Gable was out there for number 3. One thing I thought throughout this match when Pentagon and Rey did that double team move and Rey landed on Gable, I almost thought he destroyed Gable's knees right there. How hard Rey landed on him and whatnot. I thought that was kind of crazy. Number 4, Carmelo Hayes was in the Rumble. Basically tried to help Gable take out both Rey and Pentagon out there. Even I did like that little double team move where it was like a springboard clothesline and going to like a German suplex on the Pentagon was I thought that was pretty cool. Number 5, Santos Escobar out there. He ended up doing like a 619 on Rey, which he got some boos and everything. Pentagon hitting like the Mexican destroyer onto Santos, got a pretty good pop then. One thing in this match was Gable trying to throw everybody out for the top rope, and then everybody ended up like what? They all skinned the cat to get back in the ring then, and then went after Gable and start jumping him. 6, Otis came out there, which we will never finish this Otis and Gable feud, which they look like they keep going back to for some reason, so they keep doing that. Otis did do his like caterpillar move, but Gable had stopped him and tried to put him in the ankle lock. Otis had got out of it. Even he slapped Gable, which they start going back and forth. Then Gable hit Otis like a big German suplex, so I thought that was pretty crazy out there. Next thing you know, 7 Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker comes out there. Obviously, just like a house of fire, immediately spears Carmelo Hayes and is the first one out of the Rumble, which, it's a lot to say about Carmelo Hayes' booking, but, a lot of people are going to say, man, he's got to pay his dues and everything. I'm like, how many losses you got to keep taking out here? Because this didn't make him look good all the way. But yeah,
Wait a minute. Wait. Is that a thing people are saying, bro?
Yeah, Hayes got to pay his dues.
Because Braun Breaker ain't paying no dues. That nigga's champion.
Well, yeah, they were pushing him already, damn near. And he took some L's too, but Nat took L's all the time. Breaker's in a pretty good top position right now. Melo, they just kind of got him jobbing everybody on SmackDown.
They had him interacting with Roman Reigns. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to hear no paid dues for Carmelo Hayes, bro. we know what it is, and I'm just gonna leave it at
that. Yeah, because a lot of people say like, "Oh man, he's gotta pay his dues." Like, you sure? Like, I'm kind of wondering that here and there sometime. So, like I said, he was the first one out, so it's already people are gonna question that already. And like I said, Breaker's just he did a big Frankensteiner on Gable. He ended up throwing Escobar out the ring. Then 8 was Tozawa, but Melo ended up hitting Tozawa in the back, which immediately, I guess, after one hit, Tozawa can't compete in the Rumble. And then Triple H just tells, "Hey, Speed, yeah, you're good. You can go out there. You're next. You're number 8. You can be in the Rumble." Like, I don't know. And listen, I know this was quick and painless. What happened? Listen, I Show Speed. If you know him, he's big on the internet. He's one of the biggest streamers in the world. I knew who he was, but I didn't understand how popular he was. Gerard had to kind of school me a little bit on it and explain. And I looked up, and yeah, he's really that big, especially from an international standpoint of his popularity in streaming and jumping over Ferraris and whatnot. I'm sure a lot of people say, did he need to be in the Rumble? No. Did he get a reaction? Yes. And he helped Breaker eliminate Otis out there. And then next thing you know, Breaker just runs across the ropes and spears Speed, almost like Nunzio, like how Goldberg did to him in the 04 Rumble. And, he took a big spear, pretty stiff, by the way, and he picked up Speed, threw him out the ring. Otis caught him and did a fallaway slam on him onto the announce table then. So, this was quick and painless. I know some people are going to roll their eyes like, why do we need these guys in the Rumble for? We know how popular they are on the internet, but, from a business decision, I guess, they know the WWE knows how popular like Speed or Casanat is, and they know a lot of people watch their stuff. A lot of people. So I get it from a business perspective, but like I said, Speed, he was in there. It was quick, painless. He did a backflip and everything. So it is what it is. Number 9 was Sheamus out there. They need to give him his old theme song back, by the way. But he started doing the whole 10 beats of the Bauer thing on like Pentagon and Breaker, and hit him with a bro kick out there. Number 10, Jimmy Uso was in the Rumble. 11, Andrade, who got no reaction, by the way, when he came out there. Hey, your wife won the Rumble earlier in the night, but yeah, he got literally no reaction when he came out there, okay? 12, Jacob Fatu, and this is when business was starting to pick up a little bit more then after that. Jacob Fatu just immediately just goes out there and just start killing almost everybody. Throws not Pentagon, but he threw Rey Mysterio out the ring, threw Gable out the ring, threw Andrade out the ring, just in quick fashion. He even had a big stare down with Braun Breaker, which they didn't really interact after that, but that match is going to happen at some point, given by the crowd reaction. Probably the second time we've seen this now. 13, Ludwig Kaiser, who stood around and, trying to wait to pick his spot and go after Pentagon, and then Pentagon just immediately eliminated him then. So Kaiser was out, so he had more time than Santino Marella. 14 was the Miz. Miz out here doing hurricane riders and springboard attacks. That's actually pretty crazy to see him doing that. But yeah, Miz was just trying to, I guess, do some new moves out there. And Fatu took him down with a Samoa drop. 15, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry, the TNA World Champion. Of course, people popped and sing this theme song out there. And, you know, he just does his thing. Hits like the fallaway slam, like on the mid, does a standing ovation on him after that. Hendry ended up taking him down, and then Sheamus was mad at Fatu, like, hey, I was enjoying that. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I was enjoying this. Like, I like what was happening right here. 16, Roman Reigns, the OTC coming out with Paul Heyman, which at least Roman Reigns could finally show up this time. We haven't seen him since the Raw Netflix debut. I thought he would have been on the Go Home show. But obviously the bigger stars started to come in then after that. And even he got pyro coming out in the Rumble and took his time coming out there, like every Roman entrance. But Reigns immediately got in there, speared Miz, and eliminated him. Took out Sheamus, I believe, also, I think, after that. And even Joe Hendry. And I'll say this with Joe Hendry, too. I don't think Joe Hendry looked bad. I know a lot of people saying, like, they made the TNA World Champion look bad. Like, I didn't think he looked that bad, and he got eliminated by a top guy, which was Roman. So I thought, he came in, he got his pop. He hit his big moves out there. Was he in there that long? Not really, but I don't think he looked that bad out there. There's a lot of people saying, oh, look, they squandered the TNA World Champion. I'm like, I don't think it was bad, but then again, if people want to think from last year, they said I think Jordan Grace was probably in the Rumble longer, and she was a Knockouts champion last year and whatnot. So it didn't get into like now that we got a lot of TNA people on this show. Damn, now that I think about it, we didn't see Masha, I think, in the the women's Rumble, but then again, after what I saw clips earlier today, she's out there trying to break up fights with Joey Janela getting beat up. Go look that up if you get the chance to check that out. It's a shoot. But yeah, Hendry got eliminated by Reigns then after that. And then Breakker and Reigns had a big stare down, which Breakker ended up spearing Roman Reigns then after that. So you could tell that's probably going to come in at some point. And then Breakker tried to charge at Reigns and throw him out, but Reigns threw him out then. So Breakker was gone from there. Jimmy Uso tried to help up, Roman Reigns, helping him out. But Jacob Fatu ended up taking out Jimmy Uso then, so he was out of there. And then Reigns and Jacob had a big stare down then. Pentagon started coming back into play, even doing like the Sierra Met thing on Fatu, but he got taken down then after that. And then, Reigns and Fatu are going back at it. 17 was Drew McIntyre, which, Drew McIntyre just pissed at everybody. I hate Roman Reigns. I hate CM Punk. I hate Roman Reigns. I hate CM Punk, and immediately going after Reigns, even helping Jacob take out Roman Reigns. They start jumping him in after that. 18, and once again, let's get back to how bad music was. Finn Balor randomly returned to, I didn't know who this was who came out when number 18 hit. I was like, oh, it's Finn Balor. Why does he have this horrible, bad rap music for? What happened to his last thing part of the Judgment, his remix Judgment Day thing? Why did we give him this music? And he basically damn it came out the crickets too, so that was kind of making things worse. The last time we saw him was that street fight with Damian Priest, but you give him this horrible music. Finn, listen, the Judgment thing I think is dead at this point. If you ask me, it really is. And I think Finn needs to go back on his own. But good God, who gave him this god-awful music? Like I said, we said we would come back to this and everything. We'll get to the music later on. Everybody has a chance to say something. But whoever gave him this music did him no favors right here. They did him no favors because I didn't even know who this was when he came out. So I was like, oh, Finn's back. But I'm like, why does he have this god-awful music? But Pentagon ended up getting thrown out by that point by I think Finn threw out Pentagon. So Pentagon was in the Rumble for a pretty long time, if I'm not mistaken. So he was there for like 40 minutes. Number 19, Shinsuke Nakamura. I swear to God, I forgot he was the U.S. champion already and didn't give that, get that long out there in the Rumble anyways too. So he was there. 20, Jey Uso. Thank God this wasn't another 15-minute entrance out there of Yeats because we would have been standing there for a while, but he got a big pop. He had a big poison run on the Jacob Fatu, so that was pretty crazy out there. I think who was eliminated? I think Nakamura tried to go charge at Jay, but I think he ended up throwing Nakamura out of the ring then, so he was gone. 21, the return of AJ Styles, and we got his old theme song back. They don't want none because his last theme song sucked. And we haven't seen AJ, I think, since October, since he got hurt, but he got his old music back and he's not Dark AJ anymore. So yeah, fans did give him a big pop when AJ got in the ring, then hit a Pele kick on the Jacob and everything, which was pretty crazy too. 22, Braun Strowman, and I'm going to say this right now, I'm actually surprised Braun Strowman is back after he got killed last week on Saturday night's main event. Like, this man got murdered by Jacob Fatu, but he's back the next week and immediately throws up Fatu. Like, the minute he hit the ring, he threw him out of there. I was like, damn, Jacob didn't see that coming. So it was a little bit anticlimactic how he got eliminated, but if you're looking at the story and everything, it's like, okay, Strowman's getting his payback out there. But I was just surprised he was back after 1 week. Like, literally 1 week he was back after damn near getting killed. 23, John Cena, the Invisible Man himself. John Cena was in the ring. He ended up eliminating Strowman and then eliminating Balor, which I feel like Strowman was supposed to catch Balor, but you see Strowman was a little bit pissed off. I feel like he didn't catch Balor all the way when he got thrown out of the ring. But yeah, Cena was in, and it's gonna be a lot to say about John Cena. One thing I'll say this right now, and maybe this kind of goes back from WrestleMania 39 a few years ago, but I think this guy looks like Sheamus out there, given how white he is. Like, we already know he's a white guy, but he's like white like Sheamus out there now. I would say this guy needs to get a tan or something, because he looks really pale for some reason. But yeah, Cena was out there. 24, CM Punk, it's clobbering time. And in a way, they didn't even do nothing for a whole minute. It had to milk this big triple threat stare down between Reigns, Cena, and Punk. Then after that, and then Seth Rollins' music comes in next as number 25 and kind of kills the vibe when you really think about it. And immediately goes after CM Punk and charges and tackles him to the ground. And so you knew that was coming. 26, Dominic Mysterio then. He comes in and he's just like hitting frog splashes on Cena and just trying to go after everybody until Reigns took him down with Samoan drop. 27, Sami Zayn. Immediately hits a haluva kick onto Drew McIntyre, hits one on Rollins then. He's just hitting haluva kicks all over the place, so he's taking down everyone. 28, Damian Priest. I swear he didn't really get that big a reaction either coming out there, but he's in the ring, and I think he ended up throwing out. Yeah, he threw out Dominic, so he was gone after that. 29, LA Knight, yeah, was next, immediately going after Drew. Trying to see, because somebody was eliminated after this. I think Drew was eliminated next, and I heard some story now. They say he was pissed off in the back about it, like it wasn't supposed to go according to plan. So that's probably a work. But and one thing that Shaggy brought up earlier with the whole Sami Zayn thing, and throwing himself out of the way, and Jay ended up super kicking, which because Sammy was gone in after that. And then you can see, Jay kept saying, my bad, Uso. Once again, Sammy's like, hey, I'm doing everything for everybody else, but what am I doing for me and whatnot? Because one thing I guess I got wrong, looking at my notes here, Priest was the one that eliminated McIntyre, and we saw how pissed McIntyre was. Number 30, Logan Paul, which I'm sure a lot of people either said, fuck, or why do we have the YouTube nigga out here again? So you already know he was gonna be. I didn't think he was. Honestly, I forgot he was even supposed to be in this thing, because I was like, who's gonna be number 30? But I'm like, oh, it's Logan Paul. So yeah, scam artist himself. But right after that, then we had like 9 people left in there. LA Knight ended up pushing Logan Paul off the apron, but Logan Paul ended up jumping onto the announce table then to stay alive in the match. So kind of pulling a Kofi Kingston spot out there. LA Knight ended up taking out Priest, clothesline him over the top rope, so he was gone. Logan Paul was able to jump back towards the ring onto the steel steps. Well, he walked across like the barricade onto the steps then, and then AJ was, I guess, getting ready to hit a phenomenal forearm, and then because yeah, AJ took out an LA Knight then, and when he went for the phenomenal forearm, Logan Paul pulled him down and eliminated him then. So we get to the final 6 people now. We got Reigns, we got Punk, we got Cena, we got Rollins, Jey Uso, and Logan Paul. So everybody's just kind of looking around and damn near hitting finishers on each other after that. Right after that, Rollins and Reigns just basically just kind of, having a stare down, arguing with each other, because the Shield, of course, going back and forth, they start brawling and trying to eliminate each other. Then Punk just runs up and takes out both Shield members then. So Reigns and Rollins are gone, and the crowd goes nuts. And then the crowd dies immediately when Logan Paul eliminated CM Punk after that. So the crowd was just kind of just was in shock then. And then next thing you know, Paul Heyman's yelling in, everybody's pissed off. And then Rollins just randomly curb stomps Roman Reigns into the ground then and starts brawling with CM Punk then after that. And then you got referees breaking up and even Punk looking at Heyman. Basically, Punk's going to start calling in for that favor now from Paul Heyman, so get ready for that. And even Rollins ended up curb stomping Reigns again on the steel steps, though, this time. So it's a massive brawl with all three of them. So I feel like it may be a triple threat at WrestleMania, but hey, anything can happen. We'll get to that, after this match. And then we get to the finals. I think it's like the final three. Cena, Logan Paul, and Jey Uso. Cena ended up taking out Logan Paul and clothesline him out of the ring. And then, like I said, Cena and Jey Uso, they're the final two then. And then, they keep going back and forth, trading punches and all that. Cena, of course, it's his 5 moves of doom, 5 knuckle shuffle and stuff. But Jey Uso came back with the spear. They ended up fighting to the outside of the ring. John Cena tried to hit an FU onto Jey Uso, but Jey got back in the ring, pushed Cena off the floor, and Cena just had a very shocked look on his face after that. And Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. And, he looked at the WrestleMania sign. Cena hugged him. And, and everybody celebrated. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot to say about this because, in a way, I am a little bit conflicted here and there when it comes to Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. Because I'm sure everybody's going to say, oh, you had all these big names out here. But listen, Jey Uso is super over right now. Jey Uso sells a lot of merchandise right now. Jey Uso obviously just very popular, crowd participation, everything. We know how big he is. And like I said, they're really living up to try with the moniker of main event Jey Uso now. And yeah, he has main event at WrestleMania before. We've seen it. Yeah, last year with that match with Jimmy Uso, that was the worst match on WrestleMania last year. Maybe this is going to make up for it. But I think things a lot of people point out, which is crazy, is that literally last week, we saw him in a world title match against Gunther. And I don't even know how many times he's lost to Gunther at this point, maybe twice or third times now. So I feel like this is now going to be the time for him to finally go after the world title and win at WrestleMania. Because I don't think he's going against Cody at WrestleMania. I really don't. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think he will face Gunther. But like I said, it's like a lot of somewhat mixed decisive reaction when it comes to Jey Uso winning the Rumble. On one hand, it's new. And like I said, he's super over. Now, from an in-ring perspective with Jey Uso, yeah, it's not all that. Some say he's kind of hot dogging it out there too much. I feel like he does a lot of the Rock's punches out there a lot of time in his matches. But what really helps and protects him is how super over he is right now. So I think that's what really like the big thing about Jey Uso is just given his popularity and all that. And I've seen some people already compare this like, oh, it's like Kofi Mania 2.0 that's going to happen, or like a Rey Mysterio winning the Royal Rumble, or Chris Benoit winning the Royal Rumble. I've seen some comparisons about that. So a lot of people are kind of wondering, is this going to work? Because you're really going to have to build and make Jey look really strong going into WrestleMania now, whoever he picks to fight for the world title. So like I said, I'm a little bit conflicted here and there about it though, because I don't know if anybody saw Jey Uso winning this whole thing, whoever y'all picks were, because my first pick was Punk, but that obviously didn't happen. I think something different is now going to happen with that. And with Cena, I knew he wasn't going to win the Rumble anyways, and call me crazy for me for saying this right now, I feel like this is slowly going to turn him heel. And listen, I don't watch a lot of these press conference media scrums that where the WWE, AEW goes, but they said go back and look at his promo he did after the show and how he seemed way more determined now and very heelish in a way if anybody has gone back and listened to that, because now he just declared himself into the Elimination Chamber. He says, I have to main event WrestleMania. It's best for business. So really take a look at that for a second, though. But most everything I've said in the Rumble, I want to pass on to the next person. Tell me what you thought of, because I probably may have forgot some things here or there too. So whoever wants to go next, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, you kind of burned through that, so I had to write some things down to to remember to talk about them, because you were like Sonic, bro. Like,
I went too fast.
no, you good. It's just, I mean, I guess the point of like how you were breaking that down wasn't to stop and have a conversation about it. You were just getting it all out there. So I mean, that's
It's
fine.
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot to cover.
I just had to write some things down so I wouldn't forget to mention them because there was a lot that was going on there that had their own. When they happened, I had a different reaction to them. But since you just mentioned the Cena thing, uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, that's interesting what you just said. That I'll believe it when I see it, bro. But I'm here for anything that isn't happy to be here, John Cena, man. Because last night, man, I was remembering why I wasn't a Cena fan in the height of Cena stuff. Because happy to be here, Cena, man. When they were doing the three-way face-off with Roman, him, and Punk, and then Rollins was coming out, and Cena's doing that goofy look at the crowd, like, "Oh, I can't believe it." I'm like, "Come on, bro, act like you want to win the Rumble." Like, I'm not here for smiling and jovial, excited John Cena. Like, no, bro, get down to the shits, man. Act like you want to win. And if what you just said is true about the post promo, that's cool. I need more of that because just looking at this dude, he's like, oh snap! Now Seth Rollins is coming out. Whoa! It's like, dude, what are you? You're a grown man, and Jort's balding out here acting like a little child. Stop it.
He was being goofy.
Be serious, bro. This is your last year. I'm not trying to see you go out doing that. I want you to be the Cena that I used to like and not the Cena that you became, bro. But I'm gonna hit the rewind button way to the beginning of this Rumble. And I'll try not to be too long about it. But it was wild. First of all, seeing Penta in the Royal Rumble at all, just him being here is still crazy. I still feel like that about the Guns, but it's just sad to me that he's interacting with all these people that on paper you would say, oh, snap, I'd love to see Penta versus so and so, whether that be Andrade or Carmelo or Santos or Chad Gable or whatever. But then you look at it in reality, and it's like, well, actually, all these dudes are booked like geeks. You know, I'm seeing him interact with Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm like, oh, that would be fire. Like if this were 5 years ago, Penta and Nakamura, that's all. But like, this is not 2017 Nakamura. This is not definitely not 2017 Nakamura, but this isn't 2013 Nakamura. Like this is 2025 Nakamura, who's been treated like such a goof on the main roster that it's like, yeah, it's cool seeing Penta interact with all these people, but at the same time, it's like, it doesn't hit like it could hit. Just like when we were talking about his debut when he wrestled Chad Gable, it's like, yeah, it's cool that he's wrestling Chad Gable. Yeah, it was a good match with him and Pete Dunne, but at the same time, why is he struggling to beat these dudes who never win anything? These dudes who are treated like geeks on his rosters. Like, I can't be as excited for it as I could be, but it is what it is. And then you mentioned Speed and all the celebrity stuff they've been doing lately, which I kind of find. I mean, it's not for me, right? They've got wrestling is what they say a variety show. They got something for everybody. I'm just confused why, like, when you sent me that Meltzer post about him talking about all the rappers or whatever on Raw, I'm just confused why people are acting like this is something new. Like WWE just started doing this or something. like this is WWE. Y'all know that, right? Like this is what they do. WrestleMania was built on Muhammad Ali and Mr. T and Cyndi Lauper and all that. Like what? Why are you acting like Logan Paul is number 30 in the Rumble? Like why are you acting like this is something just because they're showing a bunch of celebrities in the crowd and Speeds in the Rumble? Like this is, I mean, maybe they're just not the celebrities you like. So maybe that's why you're saying that. And fine, but I saw so many people who were like, ever since the Netflix debut that keep talking about, man, all these celebrities and all that. I'm like, y'all are WWE fans. Isn't this what y'all like? Sports entertainment? Because that's what I kept hearing every time AEW was talking about alternatives, that y'all were like, well, we like this over here. We don't like what y'all doing. We like this. So this is what y'all like. So go ahead and like it and shut up. Like, why are you acting like this is something new? But whatever. whatever on that. The main thing, two things that made me kind of about this Rumble, because I overall really liked it, but everything Logan Paul related, trash, bro. It will always be that way. I hated when he did his little Kofi spot and Pat McAfee on commentaries like, see, this is exactly why people hate Logan Paul, because he can do that. And I'm like, did this company trying so hard to force this narrative about Logan Paul that nothing he does outside of WWE is a problem, and the only reason he gets heat is because he's doing good heel work, is so trash, bro. Like every time they talk about it, it's like sports washing in Saudi Arabia, bro. We're just going to ignore everything else that isn't WWE related, and the only reason you don't like Logan Paul is because he's amazing and you're not. No, bro. Come on now. Like, I know y'all are, you know, you're mixing up the Kool-Aid and just hoping that we all drink it, but it's insulting your audience to act like the only reason people don't like Logan Paul and the only reason they don't want to see Logan Paul is because of heel work, is because he's athletic. No, bro. This nigga has got years now, and not even like old stuff, like last year stuff, bro, that that is piling up of why this dude is a complete scumbag. And I don't care that he's got so many followers and he's got so much money and blah blah blah. So that should make me like him. No, dog. This dude is a scumbag. I don't want to see him on my television. Period. Well, no matter what y'all say, no matter what y'all do, and if this dude ends up wrestling John Cena at WrestleMania or something, like y'all can keep that, bro. Unless the point is to give me a bathroom break, I appreciate it if that's what y'all trying to do. But like everything Logan Paul related, him eliminating CM Punk, I'm real surprised you didn't go harder on that, because I know, like, I like Punk, but I know Punk is your boy, right? So I'm
I was gonna get
surprised.
to that. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna say some things about that because I was trying to just get through the whole Rumble itself first. But not to cut you off, I do agree. Like, say what you want about Logan Paul in the ring, that's one thing, but I think he's just a scam artist. I think that, like, look up that Lunchable stuff. So I just wanted to point
It's
that
not even
out.
a thought. It's facts.
It's facts. Like, it happened.
All his Bitcoin stuff, all the Prime controversy, all like it's all out there. And they are swearing that none of that exists. You only don't like him because he's more athletic than you, Bryce.
Yes, that's the only reason. And he's in the WWE, and he's a great heel and all that stuff. Like I said about his wrestling, like in the ring in WWE, he's not bad. I'm not gonna say that at all. From an in-ring perspective, he's really good. But like, dude, everything else, like outside stuff, no, I think he's a scam artist. I really do. And the Punk thing, I just literally rolled my eyes. I was like, fuck, like literally, fuck. Because like I said, Punk was my first pick to win the Rumble, but I was
It is
like,
mine too.
yeah, and I just now I'm kind of like, where is this really about to go now with him? Because like, we have to understand this will get Logan Paul great heat. Yeah, okay, but this is what we
They
really
gave him
doing.
heat already.
Oh, it's heat. Oh, it's a lot of heat out there. But let me let you finish first. And we'll get to, like, let me let you finish everything first. We'll get back to that.
It was funny though, like the change in my reaction, because Punk eliminated Rollins and Roman at the same time. And I was like, oh snap, that's crazy, because blah blah blah. And before I could even get the thought out, then Logan Paul dumps him out. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I said that's crazy for both, but complete different inflections on why I said it. I said, oh, that's crazy. No way they just had Logan Paul eliminate CM Punk. But even more than that, for me personally, and this may not even resonate with everybody, but me personally, the most egregious thing was everything Finn Balor related in this Royal Rumble, because we haven't seen a dude, like you said, since the street fight, and I thought that was for a reason. We weren't going to see him because something else was happening. Maybe he was thinking about making a new group, so the next time we saw him, he would just show up with some new NXT talent or something, and he's got heavies or whatever. Or I thought he would show up and he'd be the demon again in the Royal Rumble. He would show up, painted up, and be, or he would just come back as Finn Balor, and then we would just tell the story. Whatever. None of those things happened. He came back as regular Finn Balor, no explanation where he's been, why he's been gone, why he hasn't been saying anything or anything, and he had new music, so nobody even knew it was him. And he didn't even do anything in the Rumble. He just got. I just sat there like, this is Triple H. This at a point was your guy, bro. This was the guy you were telling Vince is the guy, and this is what you did with him. Like, I can even excuse you just bringing him back unceremoniously, and here he is, Finn Balor. But then to change the music so that nobody even knows it's him without any explanation, like this is what you do if he came out on Raw. He would have new music to go with his new presentation, whatever that's going to be. You can't just do that in the Royal Rumble and he still is just regular Finn Balor, but with new music. So now nobody reacts to him because nobody even knows it's him. You can't do that. And then on top of that, for him to not even factor into anything important in the Rumble, it's not like he threw out Priest or something. Like he just came and went. Like, okay, so why am I going to care about anything Finn Balor related come Monday Night Raw, bro? Like, it just more than anything else in the Rumble, that whole bit bothered me because like I'm a big Finn Balor guy. I always have been. And it's just like, dude, just like I was saying about Shayna Baszler earlier, and Asuka and Nakamura and all these people that you already did this with in NXT, why are they treated like such geeks on the main roster? These were your people. You booked them, and now you're booking them again. You have the control to do whatever you want, and you're still just making them geeks, dog. This is what you're doing with Finn Balor, the first ever Universal Champion. This is what you're doing with the guy who you put that belt on twice, longest reigning champion. Like, this is what you're doing. Huh? So he's just going to go back on Raw and continue dicking around with Liv in them. And we're just going to act like there was no break. He's just Finn Balor again, but just now with new music. Trash, bro. So trash. So before other than anything else, outside of Logan Paul and Finn Balor, I thoroughly enjoyed the Rumble. But that Finn Balor bit I just sat there in disbelief. I'm like, who is this coming out? Wait, Finn? Wait, Finn's back? Jesus Finn. And he has new music, okay? And then he got thrown out. Like, okay, well, fuck me for caring then, I guess. But that's whatever. As far as Jay winning, though, I like Jay winning. I tweeted out today because I saw so many people complaining on Twitter about this. And I said, coming on this app and seeing people complain about Jay winning the Rumble, like all of a sudden people care about work rate in WWE is kind of hilarious because where's all this coming from, bro? Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan are getting the biggest pops out there. Freaking Chelsea Green's getting the biggest pops out there. People are going crazy for LA Knight and Jey Uso. But online, everybody's like, what? Why did Jey Uso win? He sucks. He can't do good. Like, okay, so now in WWE we care about work rate. Now we do, even though we got a work rate match and the entire crowd was silent. We care about work rate in WWE now. Okay, I don't get it, bro, but it made sense to me that Jay won. He wasn't my pick. I had Punk winning, especially since everybody kept getting on him about not main eventing Mania. But it made all the sense in the world for me for Jay to win because he wants another shot at Gunther. He keeps losing to this dude, and he swears he can beat him. So now he's going to take this spot, and he's going to shoot his shot yet again. Like, that makes sense. At least they told the story. The Charlotte thing came out of nowhere, but with Jay, they actually told a story leading up to this. I agree that it's weird to do that Saturday night's main event match when they did it, and then do the Rumble. But outside of that, like at least they were actually building to this moment. It's not like it came out of, I mean, he may have been a dark horse or an underdog, but it's not like it's random, you know? So for me, I ain't no problem with it. Like, I am a work rate guy, but in terms of the story being told, it's not like they got Jeff Jarrett going for the world title or something. Like, so yeah, I was cool with it. Overall, I enjoyed it. But the Logan Paul thing, Finn Balor thing, y'all can keep that.
Okay, well, couple things to say. One, Gerard did have to dip out. He had to go help his friend with a couch, so he had to kind of dip up out of here. But just kind of countering just some of the stuff you would just say when it comes to this Rumble match. It's a lot of things. Like even when you said like the work rate thing now, even though like there was a work rate, but people are pointing out like the work rate people in the match and who's not a work rate person. Like I said about Roxanne being in the Rumble that long, because like you said, she's one of the work rate people. So it's a kind of reason why they kept her in a long time. But like you said, with Jey Uso, it's been more about the entrance, and that's a lot of people point out. They feel like he's just an entrance, and yes, he is super over right now. And there is some story there with Gunther about winning the big one and whatnot. I think a lot of people were just conflicted given the amount of other power within this match. And you have to remember, Jey Uso has star power too, especially with the Yeet thing. And yes, they really are trying to get the main event thing on him. I've always kind of felt like he's up there, but I feel like he's in that upper mid card type of thing where he touches the main event with people. But they've been building on this for over about 4 years now, too. Ever since they ever started this whole main event Jey Uso stuff, they've been doing their best to get him all the way up there, in which they have. Yes, it's different. It's an unpredictable type of win here and whatnot. I think, like I say, I think we all kind of expected Punk to win this, so that's why I'm a little like I'm with the Jey Uso thing, but I'm somewhat not at the same time. But I get where it's going. But just given what we've seen just from the matches with him, sometimes it's a lot more about just him coming out there all the time and his interaction with the crowd. I don't think his entrance needs to go 15 minutes out there. I think that's just trying to milk up time and stuff. But they said this guy's really main event mania again this year, because they said this is really gonna have to make up from last year, because we saw how horrible the match with Jimmy Uso was. I thought that was the worst. Once again, I thought that was the worst match of WrestleMania last year. I thought it was. So you like I said, it's different with Jey Uso. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like I'm with it, but I'm not with it all the way. As for Punk, I think I said this yesterday. Apparently, I feel like it's gonna end in some triple threat match at WrestleMania between Punk, Seth, and Roman. Either that or they're all going to enter the Elimination Chamber, and Punk is going to call in that favor for Paul Heyman. Punk is going to do something to try to get to the main event of WrestleMania. And that whatever that favor Heyman now owes him, he is going to try to find some way in all of this. Because it's going to be something. Because, like, with him being involved with Roman and Rollins, obviously we know the Rollins stuff. Roman, we knew he wasn't gonna win this. This dude in main event 3-4 WrestleManias back to back already. Do we really need to see him again in the main event of WrestleMania? No, we don't. We just don't. So the Punk thing, there's still something there, but I guess we gotta wait and see what happens. Yeah, the Finn Balor stuff. Yeah, like you said, they did him no favors. You already tackled everything on that, so they did him no favors with that music and how he just sporadically came back. At least Strowman, yeah, you got a story, but I'm like, man, didn't you just get killed last week? I'm like, you back already? Like, and just threw Jacob, and it was done after that. Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. And the Logan Paul stuff, it's like, yeah, and I know Kyle's not on here, but even he said the same thing you would have said. Like, I just don't want to see him. That's it. I just don't want to see him. That's the thing. He's good in the ring. We know that. He is like when it comes to the wrestling stuff. Yeah, he is not bad, but I just feel like it's more of the outside stuff that really taints, and I think WWE someone tries to play into it, because let's remember they tried to make this guy into a face and everything, but it's like, dude, people know what you do outside and the scams you pulled and the stuff you've done out here, okay? And still currently do. Like I said, that whole Lunchable scam thing was literally not that long ago, folks. So there's a reason why people legitimately don't like this guy. And like I said, I'm not trying to see him versus Cena. I'm not trying to see him versus AJ or anything like that. So I can understand the frustration. And Cena's case, yeah, I don't need Cena to be happy, go lucky, I'm happy to be here and do the whole crazy, oh my God, I made it to the end of the Royal Rumble, folks. Like, dude, you won two of these things before, okay? You had like 2 wins out of this. And just looking from there and him not being on the show for several weeks and not really hearing anything other than what he did on the 6th, it's like, okay, we couldn't even get you on the go home show. and then he's just all happy-go-lucky. And yeah, he sold the shock. And that's why when I said about the heel stuff, you said, oh, yeah, it's his final year. But I'm like, I feel like it's going to lead into something else. And I feel like he's going to get slowly frustrated. And like I said with that promo, go look up online, because when he said in the press conference, he was a little bit more stern, and he said, like, I have to main event. I have to be a 17-time world champion. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here and go film a movie in Hungary or something. He said, but I am declaring myself the Elimination Chamber. It is best for business. I have to win. I'm not happy with the performance that was out there tonight. And like I say, he was more serious in this promo he cut after. It's like, well, yeah, let me get that scene in. That, hey, I'm just happy to be here and sell some T-shirts. It's my apparently my final year here and all that. But like I said, he was just kind of. And I don't even want to say Cena was just there in the Rumble to be there, because I wonder, like, did you remember anything memorable spots with him in this Rumble right here, or was he just kind of there, you know, to be there? And I still say this guy needs to get a tan again, because he is literally pale like Sheamus out there now too. So, like I said, when you see the promo, you'll see what I'm talking about with Cena. But it's almost like night and day to what we saw in the Rumble and what he said in the press conference after. Yeah, like everything else though, like you said, with a lot of people, just the booking of them. It's like, man, it's great to see Pentagon out here, but it's like, man, if some of these guys was booked better, like Nakamura and them, Rey Mysterio, he's gonna have a match with him. Mello, well, we've already discussed his booking and whatnot. The only other thing I'll say, the only other people that look good out here in this Rumble was like a Jacob Fatu or a Braun Breaker and all that. So, and the speed stuff was painless, so it didn't really go that long also with that. But it just makes you question a lot of stuff. And I'll ask you this question too, just other than the counter arguments I just kind of gave. Did you really expect anybody else to return here tonight? I know people were pointing out Matt Cardona, or people thought Aleister Black, or anybody else. I may be missing some people, but those like two of the names that was being brought up a lot.
Well, before the Netflix debut, I thought The Rock was going to be here and win the Rumble. I thought, and not even like he was going to be in the Rumble, but I thought somebody like maybe Punk or somebody, Cena, whoever, was going to win. And then The Rock would come out as like number 31 because he's on the board. He can do whatever he wants. And then he would finally get his match with Cody. But then the Netflix debut happened, and he made it very clear that, no, I'm just corporate happy Rock now. I'm a good guy again. Thanks. And I'm like, okay, well. So other than him, I mean, they could have had some TNA people, I guess, in there. Josh Alexander would have been cool or whatever. But no, I don't think the Rumble needed it. I mean, they've done a good job because this is Triple H's bread and butter, man. Making the top guys feel like top guys is what he does best. Unfortunately, the rest of the show suffers, but all the people in there who needed to look good, Cena, Punk, Jay, Seth, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, all the guys he wants to feel like a big deal felt like a big deal. So I thought all that was successful. Just the Finn Balor thing was, unfortunate, but that's just where Triple H has him now, and that it is what it is. I loved that AJ Styles came back. I actually thought his new music was all right, but it's just something about hearing, he's going back to just the phenomenal song, and that's fine. Cool. I'm glad he's back and healthy. He's a big name to get back in time for WrestleMania. He scared me for a second there because he was on the mat for like a long time talking to a referee. And I was like, oh man, please don't tell me my dude injured himself again, bro. Like, come on, man. But then he got up and he got back to business. So cool. I don't know what he's doing at WrestleMania, but they're kind of spoiled for top talent. Like, they could be doing so much with so many people come this WrestleMania, man. Like, Jay is obviously going to challenge Gunther. So now it's like, well, that leaves the door open for so many people for Cody. Like, maybe Cena wins the chamber and he faces Cody. Maybe, I don't know. But they've got quite a few names. And even if they're not going for top titles, just having these names to interact in whatever way they decide to put the puzzle pieces together. Cena, Roman, Rollins, Drew, Sammy, AJ, like, they could go in a lot of routes. So Yeah, I'm largely excited for WrestleMania. I know a lot of people kind of pushed it aside because Charlotte won and Jay won, but I'm on board. I mean, I don't really care about what Charlotte's doing or anything like that, but and as a whole for WrestleMania, they got me on board. I'm up for it.
Yeah, I'm looking for, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think, like I said, it's a lot of, it's like you say with the Royal match, like the guys won. I think given like, and I said it like this, I feel like the first half it was just mostly a lot of either somewhat mid Carters and maybe like a couple main event people through the first half until like later on, then like the top main people start coming out. Then like the bigger stars, that's when business was really picking up throughout the Rumble. Like that's when it was really getting big. So like I say, it's a lot of different pathways that can go now, like you said, with a Punk, with a Cena, with Rollins, Reigns. What will they do? Because obviously they're all trying to somehow get to the main event of WrestleMania now in some sort of way. And like I said, just go look at the Cena promo from the post promo, because like you said earlier, I wasn't really like, I'm happy to be here like thing. I'm not really the biggest. I'm not the biggest fan of that. It's like, dude, it's not like you've been around. That's one thing I said about this whole tour thing. I thought he was gonna be on TV every week. Like I really thought that was the case, but I'm like, I guess he's just
He
only showing
essentially
up.
said that.
Yeah, he did, and it's like I thought he was gonna be on every week. Like he ain't show up till the damn, like you showed up on the 6th, you didn't show up to the damn pay-per-view now. And now it's like what he just said, like, oh, I'm in the Elimination Chamber. I won't be here because I got to film a movie, but you'll see me at the Elimination Chamber. Then like I thought this was gonna be like you gonna be here all the time. But I was like, yeah, it's the movie schedule, but I thought he cleared his schedule something. That's what I kind of thought about what he was doing. I did. It's like, so we're not gonna really see you until like the next pay per view, then, right? Like that's kind of what it sounds like. Maybe he shows up on the post show on Raw. I don't know. I don't think so now because he literally said like I got to go film a movie in Hungary or something like that. So I thought he was clear throughout the whole time, but yeah, I was wrong about that. So it's almost like you know, Cena's back, but then it's like he's not back at the same time. And again, same with Roman too. You only get him like once a month. He just disappeared, and all we really saw throughout everything was what he's in the video game, the cover. So I don't know. That's still strange to me in a way of how that happened. Because people are like, I don't know why you thought Cena was gonna be on TV every week. Because he freaking said it. Like he really pointed it out there. So what do you want me to say? But nah, like everything else though, other than that, like some people feel like I got eliminated unceremoniously and whatnot. I'm assuming Drew's still gonna go hunt after Roman somehow, or I don't know what Priest does or some other people within all of this. But like the big names we covered and Jey Uso went in. Like I said, I know it's a lot of back and forth. Like we're both Royal Rumble winners, really, with Charlotte winning, because now it's like, oh, we're still pushing Charlotte to the moon, folks. Like some things never change, but they said Triple H likes Charlotte a lot, also. And the Jey Uso thing, I think a lot of people just conflicting on. A lot of people now looking at this like this is just gonna be like a like how Ray won the Rumble, or like I said, like a Benoit won the Rumble, or this is like Kofi Mania or Jeff Hardy 2008, 2009 type of thing. But it's like you can't deny he's not over out there. So I don't know. I was just a little kind of conflicted, but at the same time, like I said, it's better than the YouTube guy winning. And I knew Cena wasn't gonna win this anyways. So is it different? Yeah. Does it make it unpredictable? Yes. I just think given people, like I said, with the whole world title thing from last week and just Jey Uso's work in the ring also, I guess, that's where a lot of people pointed out, and they don't really kind of see this as a main event thing for WrestleMania. So that's just a few things to point there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And
yeah.
no, go ahead. My bad. I didn't cut you off.
No, all I was gonna say is yeah, you pretty much covered it.
Yeah. Because I'll say this too, one other thing going into WrestleMania, and I made this joke about this because I said WrestleMania, folks, the most expensive show of the year.
Yeah, man, they still come out here bragging about their gates, and that's kind of insane. And the fans cheer. Like, what the?
Like, how much y'all
I
selling
don't
these
know, man.
tickets for?
I
Have
don't
you
even know,
seen the
but
Mania prices?
nah. But I mean, Mania would have been expensive anyway. So now that everything's expensive, I can only imagine.
because I heard it was like 700-800 just for the nosebleed seats. I'm like, they out here selling like it's Super Bowl tickets or something. I get it's Vegas and everything, but I'm like, then people wonder why I don't go to a lot of these shows in general. Well, I guess when it comes to WWE, because WWE's always been high, but the way they getting high, they really high now. Like that's when we talked about Raw. Like we got a 19,000 like seat gate. Like, dude, we see you do more than 19,000 Raw every other week. What? Because it's LA and it's expensive, and y'all in this new building for the Clippers and everything. Like, is this really something to brag about? Because it's like, how much was y'all selling these tickets? And all these celebrities out there, and you know they got money. So how much were these seats really? Like really think about that. So they really are bragging about, we're selling all this. Yeah, on these expensive ass prices.
Yeah. And I
So
always thought price gouging was illegal, but I guess it's not.
shit, we selling like damn near almost, I heard like 15, 16 grand for front row at WrestleMania, I think. So I don't know, but they really going crazy with these prices. Now that's why I say WrestleMania, the most expensive show of the year. But other than that though, what do you have to say about this entire show?
Uh, it was a good time. I was never bored watching it. I was up for it, and I was sober, so that's saying something. So I was having me a good old time on the whole. There were a lot of things that irked me, but none of it ruined the show for me. Um, I tell you what, if like Logan Paul won the Rumble, then I would. I told you I wasn't even going to watch WrestleMania. Y'all can have that. but but yeah, it was, since he didn't, it was cool. Um, like I said, nothing that I had a problem with ruined the entire show for me. And probably my match of the night was the ladder match because I had literally no complaints about it. It was the way they built it, they executed it perfectly for me. And yeah, I'd say this is like a B show, maybe. I think I enjoyed it more than last year's.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, it was a good show. Like the Royal Rumble always sells itself. So like when it comes to the Royal Rumble matches, you never know who's gonna come out. You never know what surprises you're gonna get out there. So like even if you don't like the winner, like you still expect some lot. It's so much to cover. It's always gonna be a lot of good and bad in there, but sometimes it can be a little bit more bad within good and whatnot. Because like I don't know if I had said this earlier, and I was actually surprised when I even saw this, even with the women's Royal Rumble. Like I said, despite what I think about Alexa Bliss, she got a huge pop out there. And a lot of people like she got a bigger pop than Jordan Grace. She got a bigger pop than a lot of people. So I was kind of surprised to see that. But I'm like, a lot of people like
Yeah,
Bliss.
they sure do. They
Said,
sure do.
what'd you say yesterday? Mid. You said
Man, look, man, I'm not. You know me. I'll get my shit off, but I'm not here to tell anybody how to like or dislike or anything like that. But I can tell you wholeheartedly, whatever she's doing at WrestleMania, count me out, bro.
yeah, and
I
I
ain't
feel
here for it.
I'll say this, and I may be jumping conclusions when I say this. Given she was still Dark Alexa, I feel like they're gonna do some with her and the Wyatts for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not really gonna care, but I wouldn't be
My brother.
surprised. Yeah, something like that. I'm not. I don't care either way because I feel like that whole gimmick is already ran off the rails. If you ask me, so like I tried. I'll just say this. I really tried to give it a chance, but it felt like the old Bray Wyatt tricks again. So I'm like, I don't really care anymore. But it wouldn't be surprised me if they put her back around it. But nah, just to say, like I said, the Royal Rumble matches sell themselves. I enjoyed it. So I enjoyed both of them. I feel like like I said, the women's one was good, but there was a lot of problems I felt within it, and just from booking decisions of people like Bianca and others, and stuff. But I still like the match. Like you said, I think my favorite match out of the night was probably just the ladder match, and I think my worst match of the night was the 2 out of 3 fall tag team match. The only thing I will say when it comes to these shows, I've said this at the beginning of this review. I know it started very early. I know the Royal Rumble matches are gonna go over an hour when it comes to like timing and everything. But did this show feel like really long just before matches? Because I've already discussed it before. I'm not a fan of the 4 or 5 match format thing. When it comes to the Rumble, I can kind of understand. I like the Elimination Chamber because you know those matches are going to be super long and whatnot. But I'm just not a fan of like just have 5 matches and we'll just try to find a way to make everything even seem longer because this show went off like around about I want to say 9:30 over here.
Yeah, which means it went off like 10:30 over here. Um, yeah, I watched this on the Peacock version that didn't have the ads. So in between stuff, I'm seeing them do like career retrospectives on Pat McAfee, and I'm like, they're just padding this though, cause it was like I want to say it was 9:05. It was like a couple minutes, like 8:50 or so before the men's rumble, and instead of just getting to the men's rumble at that point, then they did a bunch of other stuff. Like they showed Big E and Joe Tessitore out there, and they did all these little bits more with Pat McAfee and all that, and commercials, this and blah blah. And then we finally got to the men's rumble at like 9, and I'm like, this is just 10 minutes of nothing. Like, if you just got to the men's rumble, then this show wouldn't have gone off at 10:30. Like maybe like 10:05, 10:10, but 10:30, bro, from a 6 o'clock start time for 4 matches, egregious. So
Yeah,
egregious to just pad it with a bunch of, like I said, Pat McAfee career clips and all. The commentators just dicking around talking. I'm like, what is this? What I get if I don't go for the ad plan? I might as well pay for the ads, bro. Trash. Get
I'll
this
be
out of
honest.
here.
I'll be
So
honest. I didn't even see all of that. Not to cut you off, but I'm kind of had like the commercial thing going on without seeing some of it. I saw, but I just took that as an opportunity to go to the bathroom and make something to eat during that time. But it's like I don't need 10 minutes of advertisements and just kind of I get letting stuff breathe, but it's like you don't need to let it go that long just to get to the next match. Like it's just kind of going long for the sake of going long now, and like it's advertisements, but I'm sorry that it's like, dude, just get to the next match already. I'm not saying like just rush into it. Maybe a minute or two, do a video package, but don't have me doing 10 minutes of just going around random people in the crowd like celebrities, like other legends, which is cool to see them, but don't give me 10 minutes of talking about. And Pat's from Indianapolis, so I get it. But do I need the whole career retrospective on him? Not really.
yeah, we say it all the time, man. There has to be a happy medium between AEW, how they do pay-per-views, where it's like 10 matches, boom, 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 boom in a row. And WWE will give you like 4 or 5, but they pad the whole show with ads. Like there has to be somewhere in the middle that isn't either extreme. And maybe TNA is the only one who like gets that balance right. But yeah, there's got to be somewhere in the middle because this format ain't it for me, dog.
I said it before. Triple H just wants to book this like this is NXT Takeover with 5 matches. That's all he tries to do. He books this like this is Takeover, and it's not Takeover.
Yeah, but then Takeover will be over in like 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah,
You
that show would
know,
have went
like
quicker.
he'll do 5 matches, but they would all in a row. Just boom, 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 boom. But now it's like, nah, man, we got to sit through at least 10 minutes of non-wrestling on these shows before we get to the next match, and that's so. It's just doing it to do it, man. Like I don't need that.
Because I just walk away and do something until the next match happens. But like I said, I'm gonna say this right now. I think 7 is the most even number. Like say you want about TNA, but at least 7. I can get down with 7. I'm cool with 7 matches. That's the most even number I can think of. Because like you said, when it comes to AEW, it's way too many, and then WWE is just too less. But you're just trying to stretch it out time. You like either make matches longer or just do like nothing for like 10 minutes and it just kind of like, okay, let's just get to the next part already. We don't need this. I get advertisements, but it's a little bit too much in my opinion. And this is one of the big 4 shows too. But this happens almost like every show now. So that's how I look
Well,
at
get
it. But
ready because the next one's in Saudi Arabia. So
Oh yeah, what time in the what time will that be? Like, when are we gonna watch that? 10 a.m. in the morning,
And it'll still go off at like 3.
3, and this is the Royal Rumble we're talking about. So this show does count. It does count. So, and I don't even, and like, one thing I say with these international shows, man, and I'll say this is the last thing I'm gonna say for we end this review. Like, I know I don't mind international shows when it comes to the pay-per-views, but I'm sure you've heard about the schedule, going into WrestleMania, how like Raw and SmackDown others are going to be going to different countries and stuff, but the different time zones. And I heard they're supposed to be doing like Raw live, so it's almost like Raw going to be live in the middle of the afternoon in the States, as opposed to whatever country they are in Europe. Not
That's
really
kind of
tape. Because usually when they
well.
go to the like international shows, because we see them go to London all the time, but that's on like tape delay, and we don't see the show till later in the night. Like we know it happened early in the day over there, but now you're trying to do it like live. So now it's like you want people to watch Raw in the middle of the afternoon live now. I'm not gonna do that. I got work to do.
No, I'm not going to do that either. Plus, it's going to be on Netflix, so they're going to have the VOD up if you want to watch it later. But that gives them too much time to edit it, I feel like. So if something happened live, maybe somebody cussed or whatever, they can probably cut that out by the time we see it if you watch the VOD. So that's kind of lame.
Yeah, because I saw they did a press conference on it not that long ago, and apparently that was going to be the plan of going on the, I guess, road to WrestleMania, by apparently going to all these other countries apparently now. So apparently that's supposed to be the case instead of just sticking to the States, I think, most of the time. So like I remember having like a month or two ago they talked about it. So I don't know, but it's like the Netflix stuff. So yeah, I said, I'm not gonna watch it live anyways, but I don't know, like strange decision. And the last thing I'll say is this: when the Rumble does happen, I know I'll say this right now: the Royal Rumble doesn't need to be 2 nights. I hope it doesn't happen. It does need to be 2 nights. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
I
Keep
don't
it
know if they're
one
going to
night.
pad it with a bunch of garbage just to try to justify that. Like the formula they had last night was perfect. It's just cut down the stuff that doesn't need to be on the show. The fat, get rid of that. And that was a perfect run card for me. Like it doesn't need to be too long, but
Yeah.
if you're going to try and make it 2 nights by just throwing a whole bunch of shit on there to try to justify that, I don't need that either.
Yeah, like I'm already cool enough with WrestleMania being 2 nights at this point. SummerSlam, I know that's gonna happen. I don't really think it should. So I'm kind of on the fence with that, but I'm like, I'm not trying to see every show go like 2 nights. I'm sorry, Royal Rumble can stay with one. I don't need Survivor Series going 2 nights either. Keep it one. I get it's money, it's a lot of business. They'll make a lot of money, obviously, but I'm sorry, that's a little bit too much for me. I'm not really the biggest fan of that. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, yeah, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Hood890. Yeah, hope everybody enjoyed this show. It was a lot to pack in and explain. So hopefully we got everything we could get in and all of this. Just thank Gerard for joining. I know he had to dip out early and everything, so just wanted to thank him for getting online. Just J Rod. You got anything to say before we go?
Yeah, before I get up out of here, because it's about to be 4 o'clock over here. So, uh, March 14th, I'm turning 30. So for that 30, I'm dropping a best of. It's like 70 songs on that joint.
Hey,
Y'all see how my name is spelled? blackshaggy.bandcamp.com. That's coming, bro. It's like 70 songs, like across my entire rap career, dog. It's crazy. Only the best of the best. And that just tells you how much I've been killing it when the best of the best is still 70 songs, bro.
that's what's up. That is definitely what's up. Looking forward to it. But yeah, other than that, we're out of here. Whatever the next pay-per-view review will be, I don't know which one the next one will be, depending what show it is. I don't know. We'll come back to that when it's time to, because I don't know what company is next with a pay-per-view. So when that happens, we will get to it then to see what the next one will be. Because I don't think AEW doesn't have one till March, and don't know what the next TNA one is, or maybe Elimination Chambers next. I don't know. We'll see. But other than that, we're out of here. We hope everybody enjoyed this review. See y'all then. Peace out.